Good afternoon and welcome to the live unofficial Premier League or Championship playoff commentary of Coventry City against Luton Town from Wembley. Two teams fighting for a Premier League place next season, but only one can make it. To the team news quickly then. And in goal for Coventry is Ben Wilson. They have a back five of Brooke Norton-Cuffey, Luke McNally, Kyle McFadzean, Callum Doyle and Jake Bidwell. A midfield three of Liam Kelly, Ben Sheaf and Gustavo Hamer, with a front two of Jamie Allen and Victor Gyökeres. For Luton, the visitors, well, the designated away team, Ethan Horvath starts in goal. A back five for them as well is Cody Drama, Gabriel Osho, Tom Lockyer, Amari Bell and Alfie Doughty start in a back five. A midfield three of Marvellous Nakamba, Jordan Clark and Perry Ruddock and Panzu, with a front two of Elijah Adebayo and Carlton Morris. On the bench for both teams, Coventry's bench looks like this. It's Simon Moore, Josh Wilson-Isbrand, Jonathan Panzo, Venkati Dabo, Casey Palmer, Josh Eccles and Matt Godden. And Luton's bench is James Shea, Reece Burke, Daniel Potts, Fred Onyedinma, Luke Berry, Alan Campbell and Joe Taylor. Our referee this afternoon is Premier League experienced referee Michael Oliver. He will be taking charge of games involving one of these teams in the Premier League next season. Only one can make it past this stage, of course. Nottingham Forest claimed glory here last season. And for the first time in so many years, all three teams that were promoted last season from the Championship remained in the Premier League. And these two sides will be desperate to lift the trophy this afternoon. And desperate for that Premier League place. These two that met in the League Two playoff back in 2018. A long time since then. 5 years ago, these two sides were looking to get into the third tier of English football. Now battling it out for a place in the top level of English football in the Premier League. Here we go. They're getting ready then. The anthem is sung. The players already decided with the coin toss which side of the pitch they will start on. Just awaiting on the match getting underway. They're surrounding the central circle for the moment. Just a bit there. The Luton players just standing in a line. But now they're getting into their formation to get ready to kick off this game. It will be Luton that will get us underway then for this EFL Championship playoff final at Wembley. Michael Oliver blows his whistle and gets us going in this hugest of games for these two. Their 49th game of the season, and it's arguably the most important one of their season, and if not of their recent history of these two clubs. Coventry haven't been in the top tier of English football in over 30 years. Luton have never been in the Premier League. We're in the National League just 9 years ago. Now they're just 90 minutes A 90-minute win, possibly, away from top-tier English football. That is an incredible story, no doubt, for Luton Town. No doubt whatsoever. And Coventry have started quickly. Dorsey tries to win it back, but Coventry keep possession. Clear it down the line, but that will run out of play for a Luton throw-in. Welcome everybody in the chat joining us this afternoon. Okia says it's a draw game. Rio says hello, Luton to win, and Panzu to score. And Mindblown says glad you better Cov to win. We will wait and see who steps up in this hugest of games for their clubs and who can take the pressure. Here's Drama. Back to Osho. Looking for the long switch ball. Looking for the ball over the top. It's bounced, but into the hands of the Coventry keeper, Ben Wilson. Was being tracked back all the way there. The runner from the left-hand side for Luton, but Coventry had it covered with their goalkeeper. As Doyle goes back to Wilson. Now McNally. McNally with a burst of pace. Has to switch it to Norton Cuffey. And Kelly back to McFadzean. Now Doyle. Infield to Hamer. To Sheaf. Moving it quickly there, Coventry. Trying to get a few passes on the ball. Here's Hamer. His pass is blocked and Luton win it back and have it back with Amari Bell. Across to Lockyer. The Luton captain. Osho. Down the line goes Osho, but the flag is up there against Carlton Morris. So that is a free kick to Coventry. And they take it quickly. McNally. Norton Cuffey. Tries to feed it down the line, but well covered by Luton. And Gaikaresh deemed to have fouled the Luton player there, so that will be a free kick to Luton. Of course, Mark Robbins done a fantastic job with Coventry this season. Incredibly well. Both managers, of course. Rob Edwards and Mark Robbins done incredible jobs. That Luton free kicks. Chested down, brought into the box. Just blocked away by Doyle. Kept alive by Nakamba. Drifted out wide to Doughty. Now Morris. Clark. And Clark just sees that one out for the corner. Really good there from Jordan Clark. Gets the side of corner off Brooke Norton Cuffey. 4 minutes gone, 0-0. Although Coventry have had more of the possession early on, Luton have the first corner of the game. What can they do from these set pieces? The first opportunity. Clark with the cross. It's a whipped one. It's headed on. It's bumbling about and has it crossed the line. But the flag went up for something. The assistant on the right-hand side put his flag up. I'm unsure what it's for, if there's an offside or a foul. I think there might have been an offside initially somewhere. But the ball whipped in by Clark. It's then headed on. And is there an offside in there? I don't think so. And it just goes over. It does go over the line, but there is a player just offside. He is. It's Gabriel Osho at the back post. Just forces it over the line, but he was just offside from that position. From the first header from the corner, but Positive start there for Luton. Said how threatening could they be from those set pieces? Well, there's a clear example of it. Very threatening from those set pieces. Very unfortunate that, but the linesman spotted it and flagged it quickly enough. They have a throw in now, Luton, on the left-hand side, inside their own half. Doughty to take, linking up with Clark, and Doughty hits it off a Coventry player and puts it out for another throw-in. And quick start then. Although Coventry started the better with trying to take possession, but Luton have a looking to cause an early problem or two to Coventry City. Doughty with a throw in again. Down the line, but it's given straight to Coventry, and then that's through ball. It's given straight back to Ethan Horvath in the Luton goal. Horvath with a long ball forward. Headed away by McNally. Only picked up by Osho again. The referee's not giving a foul on Osho. He gives the throw in to Coventry on the far side, which is a pretty fair decision. Passing it around, knocks it down the line. Osho wins it back, but then his pass gives it away. Now they're trying to break. Bit of confusion there. Here's Palmer battling, and it's taken out there by Marvellous Nakamba. And they'll get the free kick, Coventry. Mindblown says shame, game could have done with an early goal to open it up. Indeed. It's a good chance, but of course, still a long way to go. A goal early on wouldn't have meant very much, but it would have given them that life, Luton, that belief. There is an injury issue here, by the way. There's a break in play. As Coventry have the free kick, but there is a Luton player that is getting a bit of treatment. I'm just seeing pictures of Rob Edwards at the moment. There's a bit of concern here. Interestingly enough. And they're readying a substitute, so that must be an issue, a real issue there. Yeah, there is a real issue. There is the stretcher on the pitch all here. I still can't see who the player is. There's that many bodies around the player, medical staff and such. I think it might be the captain, Tom Lockyer, is it? I don't want to speculate, but I think it might be the Luton captain. The stretcher is on, and they're just warming up. A replacement here, Luton. Reece Burke is warming up on the sidelines. They're just getting a drink, so this will be a sad end to the playoff final for, looks like Luton captain Tom Lockyer. Rob Edwards is going on the pitch. Really doesn't look good, this. Rob Edwards is telling his players to come over to the sidelines. Yeah, there is real concern here. Both sets of players being taken away by their respective managers at the moment. Rob Edwards just got his team into a huddle anyway for the moment, but there is real worry about Tom Lockyer here. The stretcher's there. There's a lot of medical staff around the player at the moment, and this will be a very disappointing end to that. His early in the game, remember, it's only 10 minutes into the game. We've already been stopped for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes now. Here at the moment, they are still working on the player, so we don't know how long that might go on for, but we will await and see. Snap says, not gonna lie, I wish we could see the players, but we can only see that icon. Yeah, it's terrible. You know, I can't afford to pay millions and millions of pounds to show you EFL games. If only. If you can lend me it, I might be able to try. Hi says, let's go Luton, let's go. And Snap again says, let's go my Luton brothers. Some Luton fans in the chat this afternoon. And they're just trying to keep themselves warmed up here, the players. Michael Oliver's just having a chat with one of the Luton players. It's Alfie Doughty. Rob Edwards looks really concerned. Mark Robbins is in applause at the moment of the officials and the medics because they have got Tom Lockyer on the stretcher and will carry the player off now. And this is when Luton will make their change then. So an early exit for a huge Luton player and their captain, Tom Lockyer. Sad end for him. Worked so hard to get them to this point and won't have the chance to carry them over the line if possible today. He will be carried straight down the tunnel. And of course, our thoughts and wishes are with him at the moment. And we hope all is well for him. We will find out later in the day, of course, but hopefully all is well. And they just made that change then, Luton. So Reece Burke is Tom Lockyer's replacement then. That's centre back. And still, they have this free kick to defend Luton then. So Coventry have a free kick just inside the Luton half. Gus Hammer is over it. Right-footed, lofted to the back post. And has to be forced out for the corner from Elijah Adebayo. There was no Coventry players in the 18-yard box. No one threatening him, but Adebayo saying he wasn't communicated with. Wasn't told that there was no one there. And just taps it round for a corner. So they have a chance here, Coventry. Corner, right-hand side. Left-footed, whipped in near post. Headed away by Luton. And that goes out of play for a Coventry throw on the right-hand side. Was defended there. I think it was Elijah Adebayo that defended that corner. So Coventry have a throw in then. That corner came to nothing. It'll be Norton Cuffey to take. Throws it down the line. Battling is Doughty, and Doughty defends it well and gets the goal kick. Up against Jamie Allen there. Hoof says this is war. The referee needs to be on his toes. Well, that's why they've got the most experienced Premier League referee on the pitch today in the middle, Michael Oliver. Oh, they've made a mistake. Oh, and just get away with it there, Coventry. It was Carlton Morris. Let's see this again. I thought there was no danger whatsoever, but the ball over the top, right over the top by Luton as they win the ball back. It bounces. It is a header from a Coventry defender. They head it straight onto the foot of Carlton Morris, looking for the overhead kick, and he just doesn't catch it right, Morris. Mistimes the kick and ends up going wide for a goal kick, but massive chance that. I think it might have been Kyle McFadzean, actually, that made the mistake. Yeah, it was Kyle McFadzean that headed it. Didn't head it clear. He thought there was no danger, but in the end, they just about got away with one there, Coventry. Adebayo pressing at the back. Wins the side of throw-in. So they'll take this throw-in on the right-hand side. It's Cody Drama to take. Looking for options. There's a that was Mpanzu, and I think there's a deflection in there. There is. Will be a Luton corner. Right-hand side. 15 minutes gone. 0-0. We had that couple of minutes stoppage after Tom Lockyer's injury issue. was stretchered off and replaced by Reece Burke, but Luton haven't looked back since then. They have a corner. I had a big chance, and now they have a corner to threaten from once again. It's on the opposite side, the right-hand side this time. Left-footed. Whipped in, back post, but easily caught there by Ben Wilson. Not as threatening that time. Wilson knocks it long. Wanted to find it one of his players, but the referee's given a free kick to Luton here, I think. Was he? We'll see this again. Corner whipped in, and Ben Wilson with the catch, and actually the referee's actually given a retake, or a free kick for Coventry at the back, because Wilson's clearance was blocked, which isn't allowed, of course. That's a foul on a Luton player, though. Coventry giving away another free kick. It's a very end-to-end game at the moment. A lot of turnovers in possession early on. Snap says, so that was close up your game, Coventry. Muzzy says, I wish you could see it. Indeed. So Horvath to take this free kick for Luton. A lot of height in it. Headed away, though, by McNally there. Brought down again by Luton. Here's Doughty linking up with Clark, but Doughty in the return ball just went out of play for a throw-in to Coventry City. Norton Coffey to take the throw-in. Bit nervous. They're the Coventry players in possession. Luton Boyd at the moment. Here comes Norton Coffey. Wins it back off the Luton players and charging down the right-hand side. Cuts it back for Guy Koresh, but taken off him. Well won back. Ball knocked long. One for Adebayo to chase, but far too much. McFadzean covered him over and blocked it, and Wilson sees it out for the goal kick. Martin says, question, how will Luton Stadium fit in the Premier League anyway? We have Bournemouth in the Premier League, that's all I'll say. Bournemouth. Snap says, I know, right? It will be the tiniest in the Premier League yet. Well, what actually is the capacity of the Luton Stadium? I want to find that out. It's a good question. 10,356. Here's Burke for Luton. Round the corner to Mpanzu. Back to Burke. Now Nakamba. Clark. It's good link-up football by Luton here. Working it down the left-hand side. Here's Doughty. Takes the man on. Whips across in. Too much on that one. It can't be kept in by Drama. It is kept in, but he couldn't keep the possession. And then Coventry give it away. And then it's given straight back to Coventry. Luton lose again. Kelly blocked. Now one back by Mpanzu. Adebayo has the ball. Good challenge there. And in fact, McFadzean gives it straight back. Whipped in by Mpanzu. Brought down by Morris. And over the bar from Carlton Morris. It's constant turnovers in possession. End to end. Coventry just panicking to get it clear. They're trying to clear it from the back. The pressure from Luton, they win it back. And Mpanzu, standing, sees the pass from McFadzean, intercepts it, whips a ball in, and brought down by Carlton Morris, and then takes the strike, but fires right through the ball and over the bar. But they have a corner as there was a deflection in there from someone. So they have the corner, Luton, keeping the pressure on. Ball, bit of height in. Headed away, though. Brought down by Nakamba, trying to recycle the possession and go again for Luton as the ball's whipped down behind. Burke has to chase, but does too much. Foul on Callum Doyle. We'll see the free kick go the way of Coventry. Yes, I just figured it out. It will be the smallest ground because Luton's is 10,000, Bournemouth is 11,300. So there will be, if Luton do get into the Premier League, they will have the smallest stadium in the Premier League, of course. Mindblown says Luton ground sharing. If they go up, they've got plans for a new stadium to be built. Interesting. I'm sure they'll want to. They'll get a bit of money out of this. We'll reinvest that into the club, the infrastructure of the club. It's a long ball forward by Luton. They're really growing in confidence here. Headed down, brought down, a chance from Panzu, but can't get full power behind it. And in the way there was Ben Wilson. So again, they're working it really well from that left-hand side. They're drifting a ball over the top. Morris with a header down, and just on the edge of the box was Mpanzu. Just couldn't, kind of side foots it really. Try and get it past Wilson, but simple enough one for Ben Wilson to catch and keep out of his net. Now Coventry have a chance. Sheaf with the ball forward, headed away at the back there by Amari Bell. As Coventry try and force it back up the pitch, and Bell will just see that one out for the Luton throw. It's good defending there. Well, 88% of the ball has been in the midfield or the final third of Coventry so far. It's been mostly Luton possessing the ball in those areas. And a rare chance for Coventry forward, and then they give it straight back, and Doughty with a clearance for Luton. Now trying to force one for Adebayo to chase. Adebayo trying to flick it round to McFadzean. Nice skill by Adebayo. Still going Adebayo. Cuts it back to the edge. Coming in is Clark! And a first goal for Luton Town. They have first blood in the Championship playoff final. From National League to Premier League is their target in just 10 years. And they have the first goal of the final to try and see that through. Huge goal. It all started, but a beautiful run by Elijah Adebayo. Lovely skill against Kyle McFadzean. And just cuts it back to an on-running Jordan Clark, who has no qualms in his brain, but just fires it into the net with pure power. Lovely ball initially to Adebayo. Really good skill past Kyle McFadzean, and cuts it back to the edge. Clark runs onto it, and absolutely bullet strike into the net. And what a opening goal for Luton. They've been applying the pressure for the last 10-15 minutes. It's been all Luton attacks. Just talking about how dominant they've been on the ball. And that is exactly evidence of it. Jordan Clark for Luton has their first goal of this final. And what a goal it could be. It could be humongous for Luton and their hopes of being a Premier League club for the very first time in their history. Incredible. And one side of Wembley, the orange side of Wembley, is in full voice now. They're elated. The tops are off. The sun is out here at Wembley. And the tops of those Luton fans are off. But there's still a long way to go. Yes, they have the early goal, but there's still a good 65 minutes of this game to go. But that will surely give them an abundance of confidence early on. Another long ball forward, but that one's just too high, and it'll just be caught easily there by Ben Wilson. Incredible. poor giveaway there by Norton Cuffey. Tries to play it down the line, but ends up going out of play for a Luton throw. And the Coventry fans silenced so far. Doughty for this throw in then. Throws it right across to Burke. Burke to Drama. Down the line is Mpanzu. And Mpanzu wins the throw in. That's really good, that. From Pele Ruddock Mpanzu. There's Drama to take this throw in then on the right hand side for Luton. Mpanzu. Drama. Wins another throw in. Look at the stats so far. It's incredible. Luton have had 70% of the field tilt, whatever that is. But they've had 5 shots, 2 on target. Incredible. 3 corners. Coventry yet to have a shot in the game at all, but they have a chance to fire it forward here. That's poor. It's a ball forward, and it's just far too much for Victor Gyökeres to chase. And goes out for a Luton throw, but I have to say the energy of Luton. You know, there was fears, and in the first 10 minutes, that Tom Lockyer's departure would be a big blow to Luton. But ever since that, they've kicked on and upped their level. Ever since that injury to Lockyer. Header by Morris. Has Adebayo chasing again. McFadzean does well to clear it this time. Headed down by Nakamba, but then loses out possession, and now Coventry look to break away. Here's the first chance for Gus Hammer, but no. Luton get bodies back and clear it out for the throw in. Gus Hammer broke into a bit of space, but Luton had an abundance of bodies back and in good positions to cover over the attack of Coventry there. McFadzean. Now Doyle. Back to McFadzean just inside his own half. Snap says, yes, Luton, let's go. And Snap says, LFS, who are your bets on who's winning? Well, I said it will be a very tight game. I don't expect any team to run away with it. It will be, both will fight to the death. But I do just believe that there's a story in Luton, and 10 years ago in the National League. Oh, big chance, Morris linking up. Big chance for 2 out of Bio. Oh, just wide. Another ball. One of those diagonals from the left-hand side. It's Morris with the header. Falls to Adebayo. Back to Morris, who's blocked. And then it falls to Adebayo again, who just side-foots it with his right foot, but sees it wide of the left post. Tries to just tap it in. He just has to take his time. Just goes at that first time, but that's a huge opportunity for Luton again. Could have made it 2-0. Just wide for the goal kick, but there's another player down here. It's a Coventry player this time that's down. It's Callum Doyle. Feeling the pain there. We'll see what comes of this in a moment. 29 minutes gone here at Wembley. Coventry 0, Luton 1 in this AFL Championship playoff final. At the moment, Luton will be in the Premier League with this scoreline. A long way to go yet, though. But it's surely looking really good for Luton early doors. Having all the chances. Creating and causing so much stress for that Coventry defence. And they just haven't been able to deal with it so far. Remember, Coventry unbeaten in their last 9 games. But Luton unbeaten in their last 9 against Coventry. Coventry's last win against Luton in any competition was back in League 2 in October 2017. When they won 3-0. Since then, it's been all Luton. And of course, their most recent meeting back in February between Coventry and Luton at Coventry ended in a 1-1 draw. We've drawn both games this season, 1-1 and 2-2. So tight games all through the season. Doyle is back up on his feet. We'll return the action in a moment as Luton win the ball back from the Wilson clearance. Long ball forward, headed away by McFadzean. Brought down by Mpanzu though. Mpanzu looks to lift it into the box. Brought down as Morris. Wants a penalty, but the referee says it's going the other way. He says Morris dragged the Coventry player down rather than the other way about. And it goes against Carlton Morris there, that decision by referee Michael Oliver. Just see it again. Yeah, I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's not much in it, really. It's Morris and Norton Cuffey just battling with each other, just getting a grip of each other. And both end up on the floor. I think it would have been a 50-50 one. Not much in that for me. That's a nice ball by Wilson. Gets it to Guy Koresh. Trying to link up. Does so just about there. Nice sheaf. Kelly. Trying to get some passes going here with Coventry. Get their feet on the ball. It's been constant Luton pressure for the last 15-20 minutes. The long ball forward again, but that's overhit by the Coventry player. Just bundles its way through to Ethan Horvath, the Luton goalkeeper, to pick it up. The problem is they don't have the runner at the moment, Coventry. They're trying the long ball over the top, but on multiple occasions it's been simple for Luton because they've had all the bodies back. They've had 4 players waiting to pick up, plus their goalkeeper. They just haven't had that runner to make those runs for the ball over the top. Something that Luton have had in Carlton Morris and Elijah Adebayo so far. It's the ball back to Wilson. It's a heavy one to control and was pressured but had to fire it clear. Under the pressure, had to clear it, and Luton get the throw in out of that clearance. That's well won back. Here's Amari Bell. Now Doughty. Doughty down the line for Clark. And Clark felt that he was fouled, but the referee says no and gives Coventry the throw-in. Was a bit of a soft one. Well won back by Doughty though. Clark. Adebayo. And Panzu. Quick football by Luton. Now Drame. Whips a ball in. Adebayo with a header. Just wide by Elijah Adebayo. So easy to win it back. It's too simple. Doughty just puts a simple challenge in. They win it back, work it to the other side. Drame whips a ball in. And Adebayo with the header leaps up at the right time, but just can't direct it into the net. It bounces off his head and wide of the post, but simple enough for Luton. If Coventry have possession, simple enough for them to win it back. Too easy for them to work it around the Coventry structure at the moment. Well, Elijah Adebayo has a good goal scoring form against Coventry. Scored 4 goals in his 4 last starts against Coventry City. So knows what it takes to score against the Sky Blue team. Here's McNally. And that's an awful pass by Luke McNally. Straight out of play for a throw in to Luton. Doughty, they seem rattled by this, Coventry. Haven't gathered themselves. That's good from Norton Cuffey, though. Hammer. Doyle. Battling is the Coventry players, but then they give it away. And Burke just sees it out of play for a Coventry throw. The possession is slightly evened up in the last few moments. 53 to 47%, just in Coventry's favour in terms of possession, but Not done much with it, any of their possession so far, Coventry. That's really good defending there by Osho. Then they win it back with Sheaf. And then given away by Coventry again. They just can't seem to keep possession of the ball, Coventry, at the moment. And Luton have a throw in. They just haven't got the grip of the possession. They just can't seem to keep it. Anywhere, Luton are there to win it back, to pounce, not giving them a second. That's really, really good from Rob Edwards' team. Throw in is long, but they keep the possession of it. Burke with the long ball. Cleared away by McFadzean. Brought down nicely in the midfield there by Sheaf, but then blocked away again by Luton and cleared. Well picked up again. Here's Norton Cuffey. Down the right-hand side. Will he make a run? Will make the infield run, trying to confuse Doughty. Doughty staying with him, but Norton Cuffey battling, but then Doughty does really, really well. Battling, still going. And then Norton Cuffey's seen out there by Jordan Clark, who comes back and helps the left wing back. Alfie Doughty. Really, really good defending from Luton again. Really determined defending. Norton Cuffey just wasn't being allowed past. Of course, on loan from Arsenal. Brooke Norton Cuffey. Horvath with the ball forward. Nice flick on by Morris. Adebayo was lurking there, but Coventry just got it cleared in time before Adebayo pounced. Here's Burke, breaks into space. Mpanzu, now Drame. Back in field to Mpanzu. Mpanzu with a cross, brought down by Morris, and takes the strike on it, but hit Ben Wilson, who clears the ball. Trying to force a quick counter, but again, well over hit that time. And goes straight down the other end to Ethan Horvath. But the threat from wide areas from Luton is incredible. From both sides, both wing-backs have been incredibly involved. Here's Adebayo to chest it down. And Panzu with a strike, blocked. And Panzu will pick it up again. In space, Burke. They need to cling on here, Coventry. That's what they're doing. Clinging on at the moment. Just a heavy touch there from Cody Drama. Sees it out of play for a Coventry throw-in. We'll have had 6 minutes plus additional time to go in this first half. Coventry 0, Luton 1. This playoff final. That's really good there from Doyle. Gets it down the line, looking for Bidwell, but that's good defending there by Osho. And Mpanzu there battling as well. Both helping out. Down that right-hand side. Does Coventry have another throw-in? Down the line it goes. But Burke has that one covered and clears away. But it will be another throw-in. Couple of consecutive throw-ins here for Coventry. Maybe something to build on. Something positive for them. They're in to Kelly. Looking to be brought down there on that left-hand side for Coventry. They keep possession. Sheaf headed away. Cleared away once again by Luton. Still in the Luton half here, Coventry. Well, whipped across. Norton Cuffey was lurking. Headed away by Mpanzu. That's really good. Tracking back, and now they can break forward. Here's Clark. Osho. Drama. Osho. Back to Osho again. Cleared away by Burke. And then down the line with Coventry, but kept in play by Mpanzu. Clark with the header. Good battling. An eye on the break. Here's Nakamba. Doughty in the box. Doughty puts it across. Bit of a deflection and it's in. But is there an issue? There is. Michael Oliver blew his whistle. Is there a foul in there? I think there might have been a foul. I'll see this again. That's 3 times Luton have had the ball in the net. Oh, it's a handball. It's a handball there. Elijah Adebayo owns up to it straight away. It's an accidental handball, but handball's handball. But it's a really good breakaway. It's Doughty. Gets past Norton Cuffy. Fires it across. There's a bit of a deflection. It's cleared off the line by Coventry, and then it deflects back in to the net off the hand of Elijah Adebayo. But, of course, a goal can't stand straight from a handball. That's 3 times Luton have had the ball in the net. And only one of them will count. Mpanzu. Drame whips a ball in. Chested away by Norton Cuffy. Battling to win it back was Doughty, but neither opened up here. A break down the right-hand side. Hammer with a cross. And trying to run off the back of Burke was Guy Koresh, but couldn't get there quick enough. He still has it on the left-hand side, Guy Koresh. Making quick passes, Coventry. They caught Luton with lacking bodies at the back, but Luton still somehow managed to cover it off. Cover off that threat. Here's Sheaf. Doyle. Now Bidwell. Linking up with Guy Koresh. Ball across. Over the top. In. Oh! Over the bar. Huge opportunity that. But just see this again. It's right down the line. Give and go. Down. It's Guy Koresh with the ball across, and it's just dropped to the back post, right over the head of Ethan Horvath. Lovely ball. It bounces up and coming in. Who the hell was it? What a chance. Might have been Jamie Allen. Was it? No, it wasn't actually. It was Gus Hammer, actually. Sorry. Couldn't read the number. It was Gus Hammer that fired it over the bar. But that's their first chance of the game, Coventry. And they ended up firing behind for a goal kick to Luton. But now they'll be buoyed by that as they've won the ball back high up. Now a chance to break. Guy Koresh. Here chance. Hammer. Trying to work an area. Works it through. Luton get bodies back. It's a strong end of the half here from Coventry. Norton Cuffy, but then he gives it away, and now the break is on for Luton. It's Doughty. 3 forward. It's a 3-on-3. Doughty. Morris. Well blocked and covered over there by McNally, who does well. Luke McNally. I think it's a goal kick. Constant end-to-end drama there. Coventry, strong end of the half, and then they give it away high up. They have a lack of bodies at the back. The counter-attack from Luton, but luckily Luke McNally was there to block and dealt with it and got the goal kick for his team. Really, really good. It's an exciting game nonetheless. Anyway, long ball by Coventry again. Last minute of the first 45. Usher was under pressure there. Had to fire it into the air as Burke chests it down and clears it. Miss hit there. Adebayo brings it down. Battling with Gus Hamer, and Hamer gets the last touch off Adebayo, and that will be a Coventry throw. A frantic end of this first half here at Wembley in this Championship playoff final. Only one team can get into the Premier League next season. And at the moment, as the scoreline suggests, Luton will be that team, but still a very even game in terms of the scoreline. We will have a long set of additional minutes. We will have 8 additional minutes. Of course, 2 injury concerns in the first half. Some stoppages, real few stoppages. So we will have 8 additional minutes. So still a long way to go in this first half before the halftime whistle is blown. Morris was in a good space, but had the ball nicked off him at the back as Norton Cuffey looks to break forward. Skipping past a few men and then brought down as Norton Cuffey, but the referee says play on. Cuffey gets back up and wins it back, and luckily Cody Drame was there and back to stop it, but I think the referees pulled it back for the free kick anyway. So good there from Brooke Norton Cuffey, just riding all the challenges, gets past Nakamba. Coming in was Osho, then Morris couldn't win it. He gets back up on his feet, Norton Cuffey, and feeds the ball for Gus Hammer. And then Cody Drama comes back and clears it, but I think they've pulled it back. They have done. The referee has pulled it back for the free kick, which they've taken quickly. Away by Drama. Brought down by Sheaf. Coventry inside the Luton half now. Hammer. Trying to link up there, but that's given straight back to Luton. And now they'll try and break. That's good covering. But now they can break. The referee will play the advantage here. And Panzu. Doughty. He has played the advantage, the referee. And that long ball forward by Amari Bell is dealt with that time by Coventry. So they fire a long ball forward. And the man is brought down is Victor Gaikaresh. Amari Bell doesn't believe it. Sorry, it was Gabriel Osho. He'd swap sides there. They're just pulling back Victor Gaikaresh there. Yeah, it is a foul. So it will be a free kick to Coventry then. The snap says Luton just need to come from the side and cross to someone in front of the goal. Well, they've got a good few crosses in this first half, Luton. I said they were threatening from wide positions. It's Coventry's chance to whip a ball in. It's dealt with the first time. It's still bumbling in there. Still in the 18-yard box of Luton. Norton Cuffey. Battling about Gus Hammer. Cuffey. Hammer. Can he feed a ball in? Left-footed back post. And Horvath is there to grab. And goes to ground. As there's a collision there, actually. With one of his own teammates. Might be an issue. We've only played 3 minutes of the 8 additional. Still another 5 to go. We have a stoppage here, so it might go on for a bit longer, maybe. Well, we'll wait and see. But as it stands, Luton are leading by that 1-0 from that Jordan Clark goal in the 23rd minute. Ball whipped in, and even Ethan Horvath does really well. Strong commanding goalkeeping from the Luton keeper. He's just getting a bit of treatment at the moment, Ethan Horvath. He must have hurt himself in the process of dealing with that ball. As I said, it was a collision with one of his own players. Well, don't forget, here on LFS, the coverage doesn't continue in this incredible weekend of football. We have the Premier League final day. I'll be here tomorrow at 4:15 for the final day of the Premier League. Tomorrow at 4:15. All 10 games live, and it will be the relegation battle that will be top of the agenda. And if you want a preview to that, there is a LFS podcast where I preview the match day 38 of the Premier League live on the channel right now. So Horvath back up on his feet and fires a long ball forward. Adebayo does well to block the clearance of Coventry, and Panzu brings it down. And Panzu, and just out of play from Pele Ruddock and Panzu, and that goes out for the Coventry throw. 3 minutes of the additional time to go in this first half. Long ball forward by Coventry. Well covered over easily there by Gabriel Osho, and that will run out of play for a goal kick to Luton Town. Well, just as it stands with the the poll in the chat. I'll just go through that for the moment. Who wins the playoff final? 57% of the votes going in Luton's favour, 43% going in Coventry's favour at the moment. Just slightly in Luton's favour at the moment. Not a massive majority, but a majority nonetheless so far. But of course, still a long way to go. Here's Norton Cuffey for Coventry. Breaks down the right-hand side. It's covered over again, but the last touch off Jordan Clark will see a Coventry throw-in come their way. Norton Cuffey battling. Clark does win it though. Clark with the clearance away. It's caught out by Doyle. Doyle tries to break, but well won back by Nakamba. And then Adebayo tries to spin and go on the run, but ends up overrunning the ball and goes out of play for a Coventry throw-in. It's had an even end of the half. It's been a lot more even than it was for the first 20-30 minutes of the game. I'll say 30-40 minutes. The last 10 minutes has probably been a lot more even. In terms of possession, that is. Luton have dialed down their attacking chances. Because Coventry have been able to keep a grip of the ball a lot more. Well, one back though by Osho. Has to go back to Horvath, who clears it. Intercepted by Coventry, but then cleared away by Luton. As they try and go on the break, and Panzu trying to break past Doyle, but Doyle does well. Linking up with Bidwell, and then the ball through the middle. That's well covered over by Amari Bell there. And Bell looks to knock it over the top. On the run is Adebayo. The flag stays down for the moment. Adebayo, the flag's still down. Adebayo at the byline looking to break into the box. Goes down, wants a penalty. Coventry clear it, no penalty given. Probably rightfully so though. Didn't think that was a penalty, a bit of a soft one. It's well won back by Nakamba though. Real battle this between these two teams. Very physical game. Not that I expected anything different. Doughty. Trying to break forward. Carlton Morris there to pick up the scraps. There's a Coventry player on the floor. Wanted a free kick, but our referee said there was no foul. And now they've knocked the ball forward here, Coventry. Trying to break through, but Reece Burke does really, really well to cover over that threat. And to see it back to Horvath for a goal, for the keeper to have under his grasp. Still playing at the moment. Of course, we had that stoppage with Horvath, so might run about a minute over the 8 as they throw a ball forward here. Coventry. Hammer at the byline. Did it stay in? According to the officials, it did from Gus Hammer. Hammer tries to cross it. It's brought down by Guy Koresh. They're trying to scramble it away, Luton. They do get it away by Amari Bell. Brought down by Morris. Morris trying to spin away from his markers. And Morris ends up being brought down. But that is the halftime whistle. That ends the first half. A tight first half in the end. For the majority of it, it's been Luton that have been the better team. But they only lead by that 1 goal advantage. So it's all very much still to play for in this Championship playoff final. Half-time from Wembley. It's Coventry City 0, Luton Town 1.
How it's supposed to feel.
Minutes to maybe what you might usually see at this time on a Saturday evening, but what an evening it's been so far for Luton Town. Well choreographed, well organised, and on top for large parts of that first 45 minutes. Coventry sneaking back into it towards the end. Now, less than a decade ago they were playing in the Conference, Luton, but they're now 45 minutes away from a return to the Premier League thanks to Jordan Clark's goal. Coventry 0, Luton 1.
Wow, what a breathless first 45. Absolutely thrilling stuff on the Wembley turf. All started really with some bad news for Luton there. Talismanic captain Tom Lockyer stretchered off. I did notice he had some strapping. I thought he might have caught his studs in the turf. Let's just hope that he is okay in terms of long term, but he had to go off, and that's a big loss for any side. The skipper's gone. He scooped the awards at the Player of the Year night the other night for Luton, and all the players absolutely adore him. Their big man gone. How well they responded. Jordan Clark, I saw him play for Accrington 3 years ago, and I thought, you know what, he has got a chance to play at the higher level, and there he is. He scored the goal that at this moment in time may well take Luton Town to the Premier League. But Dean Ashton, what a clash of styles we're seeing, and for the first 40 minutes Coventry didn't even turn up. They didn't know how to handle Luton, did they?
No, they didn't. They were well on top, Luton. They were so not just physical, intelligently physical in the way that they played. They utilised the two forwards who I thought were both outstanding early on, constantly winning the flicks, constantly then supporting each other. Then you can get the midfield players up once those players have got hold of it. The amount of times Adebayo, that ball goes up to him, he doesn't flick it on, he gets up, backs in and chests it down from such a long pass was outstanding, and they just didn't really have that answer. It took probably till the last 10 minutes for Coventry to find a way to get into the game.
Indeed, and I've got to say Adebayo's work for the goal, Ian Holloway, was sensational out on the left-hand side. He has twisted and turned the Coventry defender. He doesn't know what day of the week it is, and then puts the ball into Clark, who finishes superbly. It's actually a brilliant Luton goal, isn't it?
It is a fantastic Luton goal, and you know what annoys me is it's not all short passes in this game. You know, I remember watching Liverpool a few years ago, and they played whatever ball was right, and when you got a centre forward who's got that skill, he doesn't get the credit for it. He really doesn't. He has got immense skill. Not only did he get there and hold the ball up, but he also then beat the fella and had enough nous to then roll the right pace on the pass back to his midfield player, who even bothered to get there. A lot of people wouldn't have gone because it looked like a lost cause. So fantastic. And I had a feeling that this was a huge part of their success, backing each other up and getting there. But what a great strike. One touch, bang, top corner. What can you say about it? It's fantastic.
Yeah. Keeper's out to go, and he's gone completely the wrong way, and it's ended up in the back of the net. So Luton lead 1-0. Let's have that debate then about the style of play, because from where I'm looking, you're saying they're long diagonal passes. For me, it's a huge diagonal, sometimes from their own half, aerial ball into the box, and the two big strikers are fighting for the ball. It is long ball, fight ball, let's pick up the seconds. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but let's call it what it is. And that isn't passing football, and I wonder whether that will transfer into the Premier League.
Well, I took my team, and what did we do? We had disguised long passes at Blackpool. We'd work it, get it one side. If we couldn't get in, we'd get it and do a big long diagonal switch. There's nothing wrong with that, providing you get.
Yeah, but it's Charlie Adam doing it, and he can put it on a sixpence.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. How effective are Luton? I wouldn't want to play against them, mate. I'm telling you. I'm looking at that as a coach, thinking, God, it must be awful to play against them. They don't give you any time, and they work the players that you don't want being worked all the time, which is your defence. And at the moment, we are seeing, even in the Premier League, going down into the Championship, far too many teams trying to muck and mess about with the ball, if I put it in my Bristolian way, and lose the ball on the edge of their box and concede goals. What are we doing? That's rubbish. Do me a favour, put the ball where you need it, and as long as you can coach that and get bodies up behind it, you can win that second ball, and that's what it's about. And do you know what? Playing against it is almost impossible at times.
I think as well, what you've got to give credit to as the forward players is that when that ball is played forward, and you talk about it being a fight ball, as a forward there, the odd time it's just wherever it hits you, but you watch, they're trying to head it into an area. There's a there's almost an art to being able to be as physical as you are against a defender, and then glancing the header into the area that's needed, or glancing it to a mate, or nodding it down for a midfield player,
or popping it on your chest. How many times have they done that?
There is an art to that. We've lost it over the years. It has become very different, the game. When I was playing, it was so much of that. It was up, glance, where's your centre forward, where's the midfield player. Now it doesn't look as pretty, but it can be very, very useful. And also, I just thought Luton was so good at recognising what the strengths are of Coventry. You can't let it go into Gyökeres's feet, you can't let him run in behind, and you can't let Harmer have as much time as he wants. And they've just nullified that brilliantly just until the end.
In the end, my centre-halves weren't allowed to hit those long balls. They stopped my players in midfield getting and hitting those long balls, because they knew we were getting ready for that. We were overloading areas, and there's not enough said about how brilliant Luton are at overloading areas. That's what football's about. You know, you got to find your way to do it.
Well, Mark Robins, by the way, very quickly, I know they came into it at the end of the half, Coventry City, but Mark Robins stomped down the tunnel at half-time, not happy. I don't know if we're going to see changes of personnel. I think we'll see a change in attitude, at least from Coventry.
Well, I think he'll have recognised that Luton were to most of the second balls quicker. They were more physical, which, you know, you want from your side. So it's the basics of any game to earn the right to be able to play your way. There has to be winning your own duels, being first to a ball that's knocked down, being aggressive. Coventry weren't that early on. They were a little bit sort of caught in the occasion, very slow to get going. I think that's what will have really frustrated him.
Well, it started with me when Luton were linked arms and stood there staring at me. It was a little bit like the All Blacks, wasn't it? It was a little bit intimidating when the cameras went to their face, as we could see it on our monitors here. Good gracious me, you know you're in it. Now is where Mark will earn his money. He's good enough to go, come on, and he'll find what they need to do in this second half.
Brilliant first half here at Wembley, live on TalkSport. There's a special boot room at 7 tonight, straight after we're finished. Alex Crook joined by ex-pros Darren Ambrose and Bayo Akinfenwa, and they've got a very special guest on the show. The Newcastle manager Eddie Howe will be joining them, fresh from Newcastle making Champions League and on the eve of their final game of the season tomorrow. Eddie Howe on the boot room from 7 tonight on TalkSport. Chelsea won the Women's Super League. We'll hear from Emma Hayes shortly. Bayern Munich in the last minute with a goal from Jamal Musiala won the Bundesliga title when Dortmund had it in their hand, and Saracens have won their 6th title at Twickenham in a thriller against Sale, which we brought you live on TalkSport 2. We will hear from Emma Hayes, the Chelsea manager, very shortly on TalkSport. But here at Wembley, Championship playoff final, Luton lead by 1-0 as it stands. They'll be in the Premier League next season.
When you joined Tinder, you might not have been looking for answers, but there were some good clues. Like in the way they smiled with their eyes. Like how they didn't reach for your hand before you'd reach for theirs. And when the time was right, they popped the question.
Will you keep a toothbrush at my place?
From toothbrush proposals to non-awkward silences, there's a world of possible connections on Tinder. Whatever you're looking for, it starts with a swipe. Explore the possibilities on Tinder. Download today.
EFL Live on TalkSport with Carling. We're made by our mates. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Want round-the-clock free football news? Get the TalkSport Edge. Live scores and big-name interviews? Get the TalkSport Edge. From transfer fees to injuries? Get the TalkSport Edge. There's even live text commentaries. It's all on TalkSport Edge. TalkSport Edge is the free football fan app that keeps you a giant step ahead of your mates. Get the ultimate edge.
How it's supposed to feel.
confirm that Lawrence Okoli will defend his WBO Cruiserweight World title against Chris Billum-Smith in Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium, the home of AFC Bournemouth.
And still, the WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Lawrence Okoli.
Not one of those fighters that talks about, I'm one of the fighters that goes out and makes it happen.
Two friends.
I like Chris, but we have to do what we have to do.
Two former gym mates.
I like Lawrence, he's a funny guy. He's got someone I want. That's what it is, it's business.
Now pitted against each other as enemies.
Live on TalkSport, your home of boxing.
Well, TalkSport certainly is your home of boxing. Fight Night Live tonight. Lawrence Okoli against Chris Billum-Smith. Adam Cattrall will be in Bournemouth hosting our coverage of that for the WBO Cruiserweight Championship. And that is from 9 on TalkSport. The undercard from 7 on TalkSport 2 this evening. Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent did their teams of the season on Friday's show. Andy had no Arsenal players in his 11. Darren had no Harry Kane, but he did have Martinelli over Grealish and Rashford. Incomprehensible, really. Andy and Darren back with Drive from 4 on Tuesday. Final day of the Premier League season covered properly on TalkSport. That's from 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I'll be heading to Everton's game against Bournemouth. Could be crucial, will be crucial. Whatever happens, a win and they are safe, and they'll send Leeds and Leicester down. Anything else, and one of the other two could well be surviving. Big day in the WSL. It was the final day of the season. Chelsea went to Reading. Defeat for Reading meant they were down. Chelsea needed a win to secure the WSL title, and they got it. 3-0 it finished. Sam Kerr scored twice, Guru Wrighton got the other.
Welcome back to the unofficial Championship playoff final commentary from Wembley as we're ready to get back underway for this second half here in the capital for both teams to try and fight for a Premier League place. Well, Coventry have made a change at half-time. They have made that change between Jamie Allen, and he has replaced Matt Godden. He has been replaced by Matt Godden. So the substitution there for Coventry at half-time. Luton players just heading back out onto the pitch. Coventry players sent out a moment or two ago, ready for the second half. Of course, remember, if the scoreline is level after 90 minutes, we will play extra time and then a penalty shootout if needed to decide which one of these teams will play Premier League football next season. It could be huge. We will get ready then for the second half. Still, although Luton have the lead, but it's still a very close fought battle between these two sides. It will be the side that are behind that will get us back underway then. Coventry City in that sky blue with that one change at the break, trying to force themselves into the game back level and give them a chance of going to the Premier League. It was an early free kick given away here by Coventry and a yellow card being brandished by referee Michael Oliver. It was a Luton player. I couldn't see who it was that got the yellow card, but Coventry player. Luton have a free kick though. On the left hand side, it's Luke McNally that got the yellow card. Just came up on the screen there. Luke McNally in the book early in the second half. So the free kick from Luton, left hand side. What can they do early on? Left footed, whipped in, headed away by McNally, the man who gave away the free kick. Trying to be forced back in by Nakamba. Battling there as Coventry try and clear the ball and force themselves up the other end of the pitch. But that was really good by Luton defensively. Here's Mpanzu. Has to go back to his keeper, Ethan Horvath. Another long ball by Coventry, but brought down again. Nakamba. Now Clark trying to lift it over the top. Carlton Morris makes the run. Flag stays down for the moment. Still going. Carlton Morris plays it across to Adebayo. But I think the flag did go up in the end. He delayed the flag for quite a while there, the official, but he was offside initially, Carlton Morris. Big chance. And trying to make those in behind runs once again. Oh! Nearly a mistake by Ethan Horvath. Almost cleared it, almost gave it away to Gus Hammer and to tap it in. It's just passed back to him by Amari Bell, and Horvath tries to return it to him. Just makes the side-footed pass, and Gus Hammer with the right foot charging in on it, slides in, but to try and to put the ball back the way it came, but just went wide for a goal kick. But another chance, and that could have been in a very different area. Luckily, Ethan Horvath wasn't embarrassed by that. That's good by Sheaf. Does well to link up down the right-hand side. Here is Sheaf again. Plays it across. Now coming on is Callum Doyle. Doyle down the left. Gets it to Bidwell. Bidwell back to Doyle. Doyle with the left foot across. Deflected behind for a corner. And met by applause from the Coventry fans in that end of the Wembley Stadium. Getting behind their team early in this second half then. We have an early set piece. Corner from the left-hand side it will be. Right-footed cross by Hammer. It's in the near post. It's bumbling about. And it's the last touch of a Coventry player. Out for a goal kick. Was at the front post and the ball was brought down. He tried to force it, but just couldn't. Well, a stat just appeared on the screen. Luton have the most points dropped from winning positions. 27 points dropped from winning positions. Not good when they take the lead, Luton. They'll need to be here. Long ball. Oh, Horvath, a confusion and a big chance. Oh, Mary Bell is back there to clear it. Horvath came and miscommunication from Luton. They haven't got going in this second half yet. Coventry applying smelling blood. Here's Sheaf. Down the line on Norton Coffey. Miscommunication there from them two. And that goes out of play for a Luton throw in, but that was a worrisome moment there for Luton. Ball down the left-hand side from Bidwell. Making the run was Guy Koresh, and Osho and Horvath colliding. It bounces into the 18-yard box again. And luckily, Amari Bell was back there because it would have been a really good chance for Guy Koresh just to tap it in. The pressure keeps coming. Burke with a header and a clearance. Good work there from Reece Burke. Headed by McNally forward. Clark trying to break up the play. Brought down by Sheaf. Knocks it down the line for Norton Coffey, who's on the chase. But Amari Bell does really well to see off Norton Coffey and put it out for a goal kick. Well, the news that we're just hearing about the Tom Lockyer situation. Remember, Lockyer was brought off in the 10th minute by a stretcher. He has now left Wembley Stadium and we are imagining he is getting medical treatment elsewhere. So, as I said, we wish him all the best. Doughty gives away a free kick. Coventry have that free kick now to take. Michael Oliver, quick to that one. Quick to give it. Rightfully so, to be fair. Down the left. And Amari Bell covering over the Coventry free kick. And his clearance nearly gives it away. And Nakamba's loose ball. Battling for it back is marvellous Nakamba. And Panzu, nice challenge by Burke. But Coventry playing it around them. And a big chance from distance. It was Liam Kelly, but well over the bar there. Really, really good start to the second half, this from Coventry. Really, really good. It really is a poor start to the second half from Rob Edwards' team. That will be disappointing for him, of course. They were much the better team in the first half for the vast majority of it. There is an issue. Clash of heads here, I think. Two Luton players rolling around the floor. They will get a bit of treatment here. So there will be a stoppage in play. There is an issue there for Rob Edwards' team. Snap says, my guy, these teams are violent. Well, very passionate, let's say. They're very passionate teams, very physical. Of course, a clash of heads of two teammates there for Luton, actually, which is a strange one. Well, back up on his feet is Rhys Burke. Remember, Rhys Burke replaced the injured Tom Lockyer in the first half. He's back up on his feet. And they were quick to bring that stretcher back on, but the stretcher has been walked off with not a player on. It was Osho and Burke that clashed heads, but they're both back up on their feet and completely fine. Back with Wilson for Coventry. Doyle fires one long. Good header by Rhys Burke. Brought down by Nakamba, but a loose pass from Nakamba. Gives it to Gyökeres. Gyökeres with a skill. Cleared by Amari Bell. Niam Panzu. Back to Cody Drame. His clearance is blocked this time by Bidwell. Brought down by Gyökeres. Still going. Rhys Burke has to hold them off, and then they get the clearance away, Luton. Real good momentum going in Coventry's favour at the moment. 10 minutes of this second half. They've been the better team so far. Here's Gus Hammer in space. Feeds it down the right-hand side. Here's Norton Cuffy. Cuffy with a cross. Bumbling in there. And the last touch of a Luton player. Corner Coventry. Really, really good. It's the cross from Norton Cuffy. Lovely cross. And then it was it Amari Bell, I think, that the last touch comes off to just block the pass. And now a corner right-hand side. Left-footed, whipped in, headed on and over. It was Luke McNally with a touch with the header, but right over the bar. Jumps in front of the Luton player to try and get the header to it. Luke McNally sees it over the head of his players. Bit of a deflection onto his head, and then he just caught it with all the pace and power on it, and it just flowed over the bar. Flew straight over the bar and behind for a goal kick. But the momentum is certainly in Coventry's favour. Most certainly. Horvath with the clearance. Morris with a header down. Straight back to the Sky Blues as they look to break quickly. Gyökeres battling with Reece Burke, and it just rolls out of play. And Reece Burke will get the free kick, though, off Michael Oliver, the referee. Gyökeres was just a bit too overzealous to win that challenge, to battle with Reece Burke there. Burke wins the free kick. The game's totally flipped on its head from the first half. Remember, it was all Luton in the first half, but dominance from Coventry in this second period. Luton haven't had much of a kick as Carlton Morris goes straight down the line trying to fire them forward, but goes out of play for a Coventry throw. A high pipe says, "Let's go Luton, let's go." Remember, Luton still have the lead, remember. Despite the Coventry press and the push for that equaliser, it's yet to be seen so far. That's Reece Burke blocking the passes, trying to lift it over the top. Adebayo trying to chest it, but Coventry get it cleared away. Brought down by Burke again. Now Clark, under pressure is Bell. Has to go back to Horvath. And Horvath, who fires one long. Header down. Brought down by Nakamba. Drame. Now Morris linking up well with Mpanzu. Mpanzu's pass is blocked by Sheaf. Well won back by Kelly and Norton Coffey. Now Liam Kelly. Down the line is Hammer. Hammer looking for the cross, but it bumps all the way through. Bobbles all the way through to Ethan Horvath in the goal for Luton Town. Long ball forward. Headed down by McFadzean. Hammer trying to link up with Norton Coffey, but Hammer's pass back to Norton Coffey is just overhit, and that will go out of play for a Luton throw. 32 minutes plus additional time to go. Coventry 0, Luton 1. As it stands, Luton will be a Premier League side, but still a third of the game remaining. And with Coventry in the ascendancy in this second half, there's no guarantees that that Luton lead will last for much longer. They need to work their way back into the game. But it's a good challenge there. Adebayo wins the free kick. Really good there from Elijah Adebayo. Battling and winning his side a set piece in a very good area. The snap says, "Let's go." We're going to be asking the council for 10 mil after this. Wish I could get 10 mil. It's a free kick then for Luton. They haven't had an opportunity to really threaten. They had a free kick very, very early in the second half, but since then it's been mostly Coventry in their 18-yard box. The chance for Luton to do the other end. Left-footed cross in, it's whipped in. Morris looking for the header, but there's a free kick, a foul in there, and that's Carlton Morris that gave away the free kick, and that will be a free kick to Coventry inside their own 18-yard box. He was at the back post and just tried to get the header on it and bundled the Coventry player over. Carlton Morris, so it is a free kick. And they've taken it quickly here, Coventry. Doyle, now for the diagonal ball. Amari Bell can't deal with it initially, but Ethan Horvath is coming and gets the catch on the ball. That was better communication at the back there from Luton. Remember, there only was one goal in the playoff final last year. Nottingham Forest beat Huddersfield by just the 1-0 to see themselves in the Premier League. And it's been an affair that's been pretty even over the years. These playoff finals. Never taken for granted from any team. Been a 1-goal scoreline in the games. It's been 1 goal or less in terms of the separation of the teams in all but 2 occasions since back to 2011. 12 years, and 2 out of those 12 years have seen more than a two-goal margin or more between the two. All the rest have been a very tight game. So it's always a tight playoff final. Carlton Morris trying to play off, trying to feed through Adebayo, but well covered over by McFadzean. Gets it back to Wilson. McFadzean. Now into Liam Kelly. Kelly to Sheaf. Sheaf down the right-hand side. Infield to Gyökeres. Battling there. They keep the possession with McNally. Knight. Doyle. Doyle in a bit of space can go forward and go from distance, but that was far too high there from Callum Doyle. And that's out for a goal kick. Now, Horvath with the long clearance. Head away by McFadzean. Battling is Mpanzu to win the possession. Brought down by Clark, but blue bodies around him. They cleared the ball away. And now Doughty can't keep that in, and that goes out for a throw-in to Coventry City. Well, this is an interesting period of time in this match. Luton get the throw in. They wanted a free kick there, Coventry. Some disappointment. Some shouting from the Coventry fans to the assistant referee. It only flagged for a throw in to Luton. The throw in is taken, headed down the line, but no Luton player on the end of that one, and Coventry have it back here. Doyle. Bidwell. Gyökeres. Back to Bidwell. Trying to link up with Doyle that time, but well cut out there by Mpanzu. Now Carlton Morris. Now they can go on the break here, Luton. Here's Clark. Clark gets it to Carlton Morris in space. Morris here. He's got a body in the box. Can't cross it. Good block by Luke McNally. Goes out for a corner to Luton. Really, really good again. It's well won back by... It's Adebayo that wins it back. It feeds it down the line for his forward teammate, Carlton Morris. Plays it across to Clark. Clark then drags the defender over to him. Leaves the space for Carlton Morris to run. And Morris tries to cross it in. And intercepted by Luke McNally, who defended it well. And put it behind for a corner. Very, very good break by Luton. And they have a corner out of it now. Right-hand side. Attacking their own fans, of course, both teams in the second half. Maybe that will give them an extra boost. Doughty with a corner. Whipped in. There's 2 going up for the header. Just get it away. Coventry for now. Doughty to whip it in again. A bit less height in this one, and it's headed away by Coventry once more. And now they can try and go on the break then. Doyle, lovely ball down the line. Here's Gyökeres. Gyökeres breaking into the box, plays it across, cut back, and Gus Hammer! Gus Hammer! Incredible! The man that scored the all-important goal to get them here has levelled it in the final. Gus Hammer for Coventry City has them level in the EFL playoff final. And they haven't given up hope of being a Premier League club yet. Coventry City 1, Luton Town 1. Truly game on here at Wembley. 25 minutes for either one of these teams to secure a Premier League place. At the moment, we're back to square one. Really, really good counter-attack. Really good hold-up play from Gyökeres. It's a lovely ball initially by Callum Doyle down the line. Gyökeres on the break, just holds the ball up, cuts it across for an on-running Gus Hammer, who just slots it beautifully. Fantastic from Coventry. And the weight of the pass from Gyökeres is beautiful. The finish from Gus Hammer is even better. And that is fantastic. Incredible. They've been pushing for it this second half, Coventry. And the crowd goes absolutely wild in that Coventry end here at Wembley as they're back in it. They've pegged Luton back on level terms. And now they're trying to go for another one. Trying to quickly get a second, but they seem to be building. The momentum has been going their way this second half. Carlton Morris trying to break off the defence there for Luton, but well covered by McFadzean. Now Doyle. Hammer feeds it down the line, looking for Bidwell. Hits off the back of Cody Drame and goes out for a throw into Luton, or to Coventry, sorry, down the left-hand side. Well, the complete flip of the tables. The tables have truly turned on their head in terms of the fans in full voice. It's now the Coventry fans here in full voice on their end, and Luton silenced by that equalising goal. They still behind their team, but incredible. The first half, it was all Luton. In terms of attacking play, Coventry had not a shot on target. But with the first shot on target of the game from Coventry City, they lead. Or sorry, they equalise, apologies. They equalise from their first shot on target of the game. Sensational. Luton haven't had anything in this second half. And that's what you call a complete switch. Football is often regarded as a game of two halves, in terms of the fact that one team dominates one half and the other dominates the other. And that has been the story of this playoff final so far. All Luton in the first 45, and so far for the first 25 minutes of this second half, it's been all Coventry City. And that really sees us where we are at the moment. The big question is, if there's a third goal, who's going to get it? Adebayo tried to threaten for it there. And then Ben Wilson just has to catch it at second time of asking. Fumbled it at the first time, but ended up getting it. Hammer with a clearance for Coventry. Collected by Drame. And back to Burke. Now Osho. Amari Bell. Now Gabriel Osho. Osho. Amari Bell. Lovely work from Amari Bell. Adebayo trying to get a bit of skill, but can't keep his balance. Loses out on the ball. And now Coventry trying to force it, but Osho was back there to defend. 20 minutes plus additional time to go. Coventry 1, Luton 1. Remember, if it's level, we will have extra time and then possibly penalties as well if necessary. Ball across. Nice ball from Burke. Brought down by Doughty. Now Mpanzu. Mpanzu overruns the ball and Norton Cuffey wins it back beautifully. Kelly with a long ball over the top. But too much on that from Liam Kelly. And we'll run all the way back to Ethan Horvath in the Luton goal. Osho. Will be interesting to see what way Coventry approach this now. Remember, they have had nothing to lose. They were going for it this start of the second half to get that equaliser. But now that they have it, will they be pushing for the winner, or will they just try and hold out for a bit longer, not trying to waste all of their energy? Remember, still a long way to possibly go if this is level. Osho battling and brought down there as the Coventry player. Matt Godden, the substitute from half-time. He wins the free kick for Cov City. And they now have a free kick high up. It was Gabriel Osho just battling with Godden and tries to win the ball back off after Godden does well to win it. And just doesn't gather it correctly. Goes with his right foot. Should be trying to scoop it away rather than trying to nick it from him. And they now have a free kick on the right-hand side, just on the edge of the 18-yard box. And Gus Hammer is over this one. Hammer to whip it in. Right-footed from Gus Hammer. Right across goal. Still in, as Luton will try and get it down the other end. Giving it away, though, is Gyökeres. Down the left is Doyle. Gyökeres. Trying to link it up. It's still alive and over the bar. It's Godden again. Just over the bar by Matt Godden for Cov City. They're really threatening. So easy. It's Gyökeres. Lovely ball. Threaded right the way through. It was left by Sheaf. It's brought down by Godden. It's just over the bar by Matt Godden. He just leans back at the last second and fires it over the crossbar. But certainly, Coventry City in the ascendancy once again, and possibly trying to push for a second. Still hasn't clicked in this second half for Luton yet. In terms of an attacking position, they've won a free kick though here. Marvellous Nakamba was fouled there by Gus Hammer, so that will be a free kick to Luton. We will have 16 minutes plus additional time to go. Coventry 1, Luton 1. And Gus Hammer's getting a bit of treatment here anyway. He's come off the worst of the two players. He committed the foul and ended up injuring himself in the process, so that will be a bit of treatment for him to come. Well, both teams had pretty tight semi-finals, remember. Coventry only getting to this stage after just one goal in both of their semi-final, their first leg and second leg of the semi-final. It came away at Middlesbrough, and as I said, Gus Hammer was the man with the only goal for Coventry in that semi-final, playoff semi-finals against Middlesbrough. And he sent them to this stage and has got them back on level terms in this final. Incredible. In terms of Luton, they were, remember, beaten 2-1 away at Sunderland in the first leg. 3 days later, they came back, were at home, and goals from Gabriel Osho and Tom Lockyer in the first half of that second leg has seen them get the place here at Wembley and had them ahead. They were ahead through a Jordan Clark goal, but pegged back by a Gus Hammer goal in the second half. And Gus Hammer just still receiving treatment here on the pitch, just trying to massage his leg or something. It looks like they're trying to make sure that all's okay for Gus Hammer. He is back up on his feet. And just a reminder then, of course, as it stands, with it being 1-1, we will have extra time and penalties, of course, in this Championship playoff final to see who will take a place in next season's Premier League. We have 19 teams more or less confirmed, basically, as it stands. The two that will be automatically promoted in Burnley and Sheffield United, but one of these two teams playing today will join those two, moving up from the Championship to the Premier League. Coventry haven't been in the top flight in over 30 years, and Luton have never been a Premier League club ever. So it will be some incredible season for them to come next season for both of these clubs if they make it. Remember, it will be some achievement for either of these two teams. Not got the most money in the Championship either, but they've done it through pure football this season. An incredible season for these two teams, no matter what the outcome. Of course, both will want to play in the Premier League next season, but only one can. Cody Drame. Game's back underway then. Gus Hammer is okay. Murray Bell with a long ball forward, looking for Carlton Morris with a header. Morris heads it back to Mpanzu. Mpanzu gets it to Drame. Drame with a cross, blocked away by Coventry, cleared. Now Luton trying to apply a bit of pressure. Burke. Back to Osho. Osho in a bit of space. Feeds it out to the left. Now Doughty. Morris with a header on. Away by the defenders there for Coventry. Brought down by Drame again. Drame with a cross. Whips it in. Adebayo is almost there. But Wilson gets the catch. No chance there. Ben Wilson looked calm and collected and composed. But Elijah Adebayo, as I said earlier, 4 goals in his last 4 games against Luton. Or against Coventry, sorry. You would probably put a bit of money on him getting a goal today. It'll be some goal if he does get it. Well, after I said that Gus Hammer was okay, he got a bit of treatment, was up and was fine. Now he's gone back down again. So he's down on the pitch again. So that might be a concern for him. That might be in need of a substitute here for Coventry City. They are readying a substitute. It will be Casey Palmer that will come on in Gus Hammer's place, it looks like. We will see that change being made in just a moment. Well, in terms of me, I'll be looking forward to covering whoever gets through this final today. I'll be so looking forward to either of these teams being in the Premier League next season. Travelling, covering those games will be a joy. Gus Hammer leaves here quite emotional. That's his playoff final finished. He can do no more. Well, he's done a huge job so far at getting Coventry City back level. But he will do no more as he is replaced here by Casey Palmer. And not replaced because he wants to be replaced or Coventry City want to take him off. Replaced because of an injury concern. So Casey Palmer is on in his place. And Gus Hammer just being consoled by his teammates on the sidelines there. We're back on the way then. Callum Doyle for Coventry. Given away by Gyökeres, but then the ball from Jordan Clark is overhit. And that goes out of play for a Coventry City throw. 10 minutes plus additional time to go. 1-1 here at Wembley. Bidwell. Sheaf. That pass from Sheaf is blocked out by Nakamba. Another throw into Coventry City. So Bidwell to take again. Down this left. He's taking his time. Gets it to Palmer. Now to Gyökeres. Gyökeres skipping in between a few. Burke trying to put a challenge in. Does so well. And helps his teammates out. And Drame clears it down the line. But this time it's out of play again. And another Coventry City throw in. Inside the Luton half. Down the line it goes. Linking up with Gyökeres with Palmer. Good covering by Nakamba, but then they give it away again. Here's Bidwell. Palmer. Palmer on the edge of the area. Casey Palmer here with the ball. Palmer whips it in left-footed. Right across goal. Norton Coffey trying to keep it in, but that's out of play for a Luton throw-in on the far side. Will we see a decisive goal before the end of the 90 minutes here? Or will both teams have to play an extra 30 here at Wembley to try and see their fortunes decided? Well, here's Coventry breaking forward. Big chance in the box. It's Sheaf. Sheaf still here. Ben Sheaf. The flag goes up. Just went slightly too early, it seems. But now Luton take the free kick quickly. And now they want to go on the break. Charging down the left-hand side. And Clark's ball is overhit to Adebayo. But McFadzean's clearance goes behind for a corner. Now down at the Luton end, they have a corner. Snap says, please, Luton, you've got that spirit. Well, there's a thought there was a foul there on McFadzean, but the referee didn't give it. The officials didn't believe so. So the corner is on the left-hand side then for Luton. Can they whip it in and cause some drama? Right-footed ball whipped in. Headed on by a Coventry player and all the way across goal. Brought down by Osho, who recycles possession, gets to the Kamba. Now on the halfway line is Cody Drame. Down the left, trying to target Jordan Clark. And Clark will see it out for a throw-in to Luton. And now they're going to make a change here, Luton then. This is the first change that isn't enforced, possibly. For Luton it is. It will be Doughty that will be replaced. So, Alfie Doughty will be replaced by Fred Onyedinma for Luton Town. Some fresh legs. Onyedinma takes the throw in quickly. Instant impact, ball whipped in. Just headed away. And Coventry get it cleared. Just about. Now they're trying to set off a break. Here's Godden. Godden has to spin round, gives it to Kelly. Now Godden. And the ball from Matt Godden is a poor one. And goes all the way back to Ethan Horvath for Coventry. 6 minutes of the 90 to go. Still level terms here at Wembley. Both sides have had chances. Not huge chances, but I'm sure they'll both get a chance each before the end of the game to try and win it. Nakamba. Round the corner for Onyedinma. Onyedinma takes on Norton Coffey. Ball cross. Just away from Clark there. Well defended. A nice Sheaf trying to carry it away for a counter. And Clark covers that one over and puts it out for a Coventry City throw-in. Non-stop this. Of course, the hierarchies of both clubs in attendance here this afternoon. Up in the boxes at Wembley here. Watching on as they hope that their club becomes Premier League once again. Or in Luton's case for the very first time. Horvath right down the field. The ball is ready for the throw-in. Then to Luton. Onyedinma with a throw-in. Battling. Just overhit that one and Coventry can get it away and cleared. Fired down the line for Gyökeres to chase. Gyökeres up against Osho. Osho has to go back to Horvath. And Horvath clears. Battling is Adebayo. Feels he was fouled there, but ball's brought down by Casey. Casey Palmer. Trying to get it to Bidwell, but Bidwell's intercepted, but then Gyökeres wins it back. Now McFadzean. McFadzean down the line. Lovely ball. Threaded in behind. Brought down by Godden. Palmer's here. Casey Palmer looks to get to the byline, but Reece Burke does really well to cover it off and puts it out for a goal kick. Or sees it out for a goal kick, sorry. Both teams surely not wanting to lose this, of course. Of course, they both want to win it, but I'm sure the priority is they don't want to lose at this stage of the game. The ever more ball down the line. Header there from Luton, brought down. Drame trying to battle for it. Nakamba is given away, but he was fouled in the process there, Marvellous Nakamba, so that will be a free kick to Luton. And they've taken it quickly, trying to keep the pressure on. Here's Drame. Drame trying to whip it across. It was blocked that time by Kelly, and Kelly who can clear it. Brought down by Godden. Now Palmer has a chance. Palmer with the ball forward. Gyökeres, lovely chest. Brought down by Godden. Godden on the run. Still going is Matt Godden. Now gives it to Gyökeres, trying to open the space. Gyökeres spits away from his player. Puts it across and takes the strike. But Gyökeres is beaten down there by Ethan Horvath. Really good skill by Victor Gyökeres. Spins away from his man and takes the strike left-footed. The deflection takes all the power off it. And Horvath with a simple catch. It's a long ball forward by Horvath. Headed away by McFadzean. Brought down by Cody Drame. Have to get the ball up the pitch. Burke. Long ball forward. Adebayo with a chest. Brought down, but the flag is up against Elijah Adebayo. So that'll be a free kick to Coventry City. Magdalena says, come on, Coventry. Oh, that's good from Jordan Clark. Nice control of the ball and a seen wide here. Still going as Clark's. Nice bit of movement from Clark. Cuts it back. Tries to feed it wide again. Here's Cody Drame. He's got bodies in the box. Whips a ball in. Over the head of Adebayo. And the deflection off Norton Cuffey. Sees it behind for a corner. And Luton tried to go wide behind that net. Really, really good from Cody Drame. Just to whip a ball in. Just over the head of Elijah Adebayo. And looking at the back post was Anya Dinma. Norton Cuffey had to see it behind for a corner. The man on the back post was running on goal. Last minute of the 90 minutes. We'll have additional time, of course, as well. Luton have a corner here. The corner, left-hand side. Jordan Clark to take, right-footed. Has a bit of height in it. Lifts it in, but far too much height in it. It's kept in, though, by Adebayo, and the challenge there from Bidwell will see it out for a Luton throw-in on the far right-hand side for Luton Town. Drame to take the throw-in. Might go for the long throw, no. Throws it back to Burke. Now Drame looks to whip another one in. That was blocked that time. Drame wins the header, though. Brought down by Mpanzu. Mpanzu trying to win a corner, wins a throw-in. 90 minutes have elapsed. And we will have 8 minutes again. Another 8 minutes. So 8 additional minutes at the end of this second half. And there's a foul being given on Carlton Morris. So Kyle McFadzean, the man who deemed to have committed the foul, on the number 9. I mean, yeah. It is. Nah. There's nothing in that for me. That's not a great decision by the referee, Michael Oliver there. Carlton Morris was actually trying to buy the foul, and he did so well. And Kyle McFadzean, you can see why he was a bit annoyed at the decision, because it wasn't a free kick. There's no foul, but they have the chance. Nonetheless, Luton, very central. And they have the chance to try and score from a set piece. Clark takes the strike, but it's well over the bar. It's not the best one from Luton that in terms of set pieces. And go straight behind for a goal kick. 6.5 minutes of the additional time to go. 6.5 minutes for either team to find a winner before we're subjected to another 30 minutes of additional time, or extra time, that is. But that is still in the balance at the moment, with this game still very much in the balance. There's a chance for Coventry from distance, but that's well wide there for Matt Godden. Magdalena says, I'm so stressed. I believe me, I couldn't feel how you want to feel. I wouldn't want to. And I couldn't imagine it. I really couldn't. Snap says, not me, I vote Luton. Mindblown says, you sound surprised that Oliver made a mistake. He's full of them. Well, he's had a good game so far today. To be fair, Michael Oliver, one of the most experienced referees in the Premier League. Doesn't say very much, but I'm saying he is one of the most experienced. Lovely from Cody Drummond, a break away. Anya Dinma on the left. Right-footed cross in. Just too much on that one from Anya Dinma. And cleared away by Wilson with the throw. Gets it to Gyökeres. Up against Burke. Burke does well to get the block. And then coming back is Mpanzu and gets it back to Osho. Long ball forward. Carlton Morris to chase. Morris brings it down on the left-hand side. Morris on the left wing, but he just gets the heavy touch and goes out of play for a throw-in. 5 minutes of the game to go. Of course, as it stands, we will go to extra time to see if we can get the winner. Well, we will get a winner at some point. Just how long this will be. Snap says, honestly, this is the first match I've ever watched that isn't World Cup. Well, thank you very much for watching, Snap. It's great to have you with us. Kyle says, Coventry is going to win. Mindblown says, you're right, he has had a decent game. He has. There's not been any shockers. That's probably one of the most obscure decisions that he gave the Carlton Morris free kick. It ended up coming to nothing, which probably benefits the referee there. Kyle says they're going to score around the 118 mark. So you're already predicting extra time, Kyle. Well, at this moment, it would be some winner if either team could see it at this point. Luton just given offside there from Carlton Morris, so that will be a free kick to Coventry City. And they take it long. 4 minutes of the additional time remain. Is there? Well, there's certainly enough time to find a winner. It's whether either team can. And Gyökeres wins a throw-in on the left-hand side. High up on the left wing for Coventry City. Bidwell to take. Throws it, linking up well. Now here's Palmer. Palmer with a strike, but he tries to strike it into the top corner, but it catches the wind and goes well behind for a goal kick. Well far. It's closer to the corner flag than it is the net, to be honest, in the end. From Casey Palmer there. Snap says, well, I do agree. They've shown a shocking comeback this second half, but Luton has had the upper hand this match. I think the first half, it was all Luton, and Luton have kind of worked their way back level into the game. It's kind of evened out the last 10, 15 minutes. It's very similar to the first half. The only difference is it's that Luton have been dominated this second half rather than Coventry. That's as simple as that. And both teams have got a goal in each half. It's been a very, very even game overall. And I don't think either team deserve a winner in normal time, to be fair. I think added to extra time and probably possibly penalties would be fair enough at this point. And so Bidwell gets the throw in for Coventry on the left-hand side. 2.5 minutes of the additional time to go. Bidwell trying to force it round the corner, gets it to Gyökeres. Gyökeres to Palmer. Palmer lifts it into the box. Headed away by Anya Dinma. Brought down by Sheaf with a strike blocked. And now the ball's ready to break. Here's Mpanzu breaking forward. Carlton Morris on the left. Gets past McNally. Morris. He's got bodies in the box. Carlton Morris. Cuts it back and it evades all the Luton players in the 18-yard box there. But then the foul is given away by Coventry. And the foul on Onyedinma, who takes it quickly. Is Adebayo. Cuts it back. Nakamba. Mpanzu. Mpanzu here. Still going. Onyedinma. Adebayo then. Mpanzu. Linking up with Clark. Mpanzu. Forces the save of Ben Wilson, but a comfortable one in that. As he catches with quite simple ease. Ben Wilson. It was well worked again by Luton. Nice 1-2. But now it's still not over. We've still a minute to go. And Drame has to defend here. He does so. Does well. Burke down the line. Morris to take. Morris on the run. Here's Carlton Morris. Oh, just gets blocked off by Luke McNally there. And it goes back to Ben Wilson. It's now or never for these two teams. And Coventry have given it away again. Here's Amari Bell coming forward now this time. Onyedinma down the left, linking up with Bell. Bell's got a body in the box. It's Carlton Morris with a cross. And well overhit there from Amari Bell. And that will run out of play for a Coventry City throw in. It looks like we will go to extra time. Still a couple of seconds left, but it looks like that will be the case at the moment. And that seems fair. And that is the end of the 90 minutes. 90 minutes that both teams have threatened both goals and both have scored. And that's pretty fair in the end, to be honest. It's been a pretty even game. Neither team can be disappointed with what they've seen from the oppositions today because, to be fair, it's a pretty even result. And we head to extra time, which will be on the way in just a couple of minutes. At the end of the 90 minutes, it's Coventry 1, Luton 1.
For another half an hour, Michael Oliver brings it to a close, and for the first time in 6 years we have extra time in the playoff final between Coventry City and Luton Town. One apiece. A goal from Gustavo Harmer has lit up the Coventry support. He's dragged them back into the game, but then he limped off because of an injury. Jordan Clark's goal after 23 minutes seems a long time ago now, and there's still a long time to go. Coventry 1, Luton 1, extra time incoming. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, we're going to have commentary of that extra time as well, and in some ways I'm very pleased because it's been such a thrilling game. I mean, 98 minutes they played in that game, and even right up to the end of extra time they were desperate to attack. It was end to end, but without a lot of quality given the tiredness, and I wonder if that will kick in during this extra time period. A couple of the Luton players are down on the floor receiving a little bit of treatment, as you would imagine. Luton had all the drinks laid out ready to go. They knew there was going to be extra time, as they had them all ready, lined up Probably had names on the bottles as well, like being at infant school. It was incredible. But
well, they got enough staff there, eh?
That's one for every player. But I think the key things here, Tom Lockyer going off in the first half, we spoke about that at half-time, but Gus Harmer going off in the second half, Dean Ashton, I think was crucial, because with him just behind Godden and Gyökeres, you thought that Coventry really had the advantage. They lost something when he went off, though, didn't they?
Well, because he's the player that has got the quality to take that on the turn. So you can play into him, he can take it on the turn and then start to progress. Whereas now it is just hit the front. It's just hit Gyökeres, hope he wins it, hope Godden wins something, and they combine. Whereas before it was we can play it, we can do both. We can play it up to Gyökeres, or we can play it into Harmer and he can then turn and create. So they've lost that link, and that's so important.
And you know what, Ian Holloway, I mean, Dan Windle explained some of it, he described some of the scenes, but Gus Harmer coming off, Mark Robbins gave him a big hug, word in the air, you've got us the goal that's kept us in this, you know, you can be proud of yourself. Every single player on the bench, staff and subs, were giving him a massive hug. He's clearly well loved, but he was desperately upset. He didn't want to come off. That's how much it means to these players.
Mate, I had the biggest argument with one of my players that I've ever had in my football career, and that was Gary Taylor-Fletcher. He twisted his ankle and it was up like a balloon before the West Ham game, and he was trying to convince me on the morning that he's fit to play. And he thanked me last week when I was up in Blackpool for not letting
Welcome back. Ready for the first period of extra time. 2 15-minute halves of extra time to be played in this EFL Championship playoff final for to decide who will play Premier League football next season. The referee just organising a few things before the extra time gets underway. As you heard there, just as we ended the 90 minutes, the first time there has been extra time in a playoff final since 6 years ago, 2017, in the Championship playoff final. 2 15-minute periods to decide which one will be the winner. Remember, if that's not decided by the end of the extra time, we will go to a penalty shootout to decide it. It will be Luton that will get us back underway then, of course, as normal. And we are underway then for the first period of extra time here at Wembley in this EFL playoff final. Nakamba wins the ball back well for Luton there as they give it away from kickoff. Ball down the line, but Adebayo was offside there and just left the ball and let it run for a Coventry goal kick. Well, they did make a change, Coventry, in that break of play, or in that break between the full time and the extra time starting. They did bring on Fankati Dabo, and they did replace Brooke Norton-Cuffey. So a change there from Coventry during the break. Chance for Gyökeres. Oh, took the strike. A clean strike by Victor Gyökeres. But good save by Ethan Horvath. Long ball by Wilson. The wind takes it away. Gyökeres just gets away from his man and takes the strike right-footed from the angle. Good save by Horvath. It's Dabo. Down the line, battling was Gyökeres again, who wins the throw-in for Coventry. Ball down the line, headed away by Amari Bell. Carlton Morris with a chest. And Adebayo trying to break, but McFadzean had to be there as Adebayo was one-on-one. Now they've won it back again, Luton. Long ball forward, Adebayo in the chase, and Brought down, he fell, but the flag wasn't given there, and that will be a throw in to Coventry. Taking it quickly, down the line it goes. Headed back down. Brought down by Nakamba, but then stolen away from him by Palmer. Palmer looking to break. Really good from Casey Palmer, who wins the free kick off Fred Onyedinma. Really good there from Casey Palmer. That's what fresh legs can give you at this stage of the game. Battle between two substitutes there, actually. Palmer and Onyedinma. And Palmer won the free kick from it. It'll be Sheaf to take the free kick then. Sheaf and Bidwell over it. They might try and lift this one into the box. Bidwell, left-footed, lofts it into the box. It's bumbling and it bounces and goes straight out of play for a goal kick. Ends up coming to nothing, that. Just fixed that snap. As you said, the subscribe sound is quite kind of loud. I did have turned the volume down on that. If someone wants to try it, go ahead. Horvath with a long ball from the goal kick. Trying to target Carlton Morris, but it's bouncing there. God, no one wanted to go for that. Clark with a header. Brought down. McFadzean with a clearance. Bobbling, and Amari Bell has to head it back to Ethan Horvath. Horvath to Bell. Bell has got time to pick out an option. Left-footed cross diagonal from Amari Bell. Martin with a... Morris with the header, but straight into the hands of Ben Wilson. Down the line goes Dabo. Away by McFadzean. Then headed away by Osho, by Luton. Nakamba with the long ball over the top. Adebayo with a chest. Carlton Morris comes in. Has the ball, Morris. Feeds it to Clark. Clark to Mpanzu now. Onyedinma holds it up here. Onyedinma with the ball in, but no one was on the same page as him. And the delivery goes straight out of play for a goal kick. No one was attacking that one in the Coventry 18-yard box there. Either Morris or Adebayo. And that ended up for a goal kick. Here's Dabo then to try and get Coventry forward. Nice ball by McNally. Now Gyökeres, but his pass is just wayward. And Osho gets it to Horvath. Horvath with the ball forward. Chested down by Adebayo again. Drame with the cross. Clark is lurking. Chested away, brought down by Clark. Clark's in the box. Adebayo tries to play it across to Mpanzu, but Coventry get bodies back to clear it. Now they're looking to go on the break here with Palmer. Palmer leading the charge. Gets it round the corner to Gyökeres. Godden is beaten off the ball though. And Luton try and go up the other end now. Here's Carlton Morris down the line. Takes on McNally. Morris tries to get past McNally and is brought down by Luke McNally. He's already on a yellow card. And that will be a free kick to Luton and no more. Really good from Carlton Morris. Knows that Luke McNally's on a yellow card and can't really do much. Does foul on McNally and gets the free kick out of it. A chance for Luton to feed the ball into the box here then. It's Jordan Clark over it to take. Remember Jordan Clark, who scored the goal for Luton in the first half. Looking to deliver a ball into the box here in extra time. Right-footed cross in. Headed away by Coventry. And the follow-up header. Now brought down by Amari Bell, who gets it and chests it down and has to go back to Ethan Horvath there in the Luton goal. That free kick ends up coming to nothing, really. And Horvath fires it forward. Chested down by Adebayo, but the ball comes off him and goes straight out of play for a Coventry throw-in. And they're going to make a change here, Luton then. And Graham Scott, the fourth official, holds up the board. And it will be number 17, Pele Ruddock-Mpanzu, who will be replaced by Luke Berry. So a change there from Luton in extra time. He won't be on for penalties, Mpanzu, if it goes that far. Some more fresh legs for Luton to try and impact this game, to stop them from going to penalties. Trying to win it in extra time. And the foul on the Coventry player there. Gets Coventry a free kick from their throw-in. McNally in space. Gets it to Dabo on the right. Dabo trying to link up with Palmer, but well worked by Nakamba to win it back. Now Clark. Clark breaking forward. Has Onyedinma to help him there. And Onyedinma gets it to Clark, and Clark goes down. Penalty. The terrible from, I think it's Ben Wilson, gives away the penalty. And penalty to Luton then. It looks like it. Does it? Well, actually, it's gone the opposite way. He looked like he pointed to the spot. Well, to be fair, I think that's probably the right decision. I called a penalty. It looked like the referee pointed to the spot, and then I think actually Jordan Clark has gone to ground and wasn't touched by Ben Wilson. So no penalty. The referee didn't give one, but now they have a chance to go on the brick again, and Clark was booked for that. He was deemed to have dived. Initially it was a penalty. Well, I thought it was, and the referee pointed the other way. It looked like he pointed to the spot. Apologies. Miscommunication, but anyway, we move on. Coventry don't have to defend a penalty, but they need to keep the ball better, because Luton now believe they can get something. They've been given a bit of life by that chance. Palmer. Stolen the ball off him by Drama. Now Osho. Onyedinma. Onyedinma back to Horvath. Horvath, left-footed ball up. Just seems to be some tired legs out there at the moment, as Coventry have it back, but there is an issue for the Luton goalkeeper, Ethan Horvath. That's not good if they're going to go to penalties, maybe. Ethan Horvath, just see when he takes the long kick, just seems to pull up at something. Yeah. Looks like an issue here for Ethan Horvath. Might be a hamstring issue. Or it could be just cramp at this point of the game. But for a goalkeeper, that's pretty rare to get cramp at this point. But he is getting a bit of treatment here, Ethan Horvath, and they are keeping an eye in case they do need to make a change in terms of goalkeeper. James Shea, of course, on the bench for Luton. And they're going to make a change here. Coventry. And they have brought the substitute, Casey Palmer, off the pitch, Coventry City. So Palmer, who was brought on in the 80th minute, just 20 minutes later is replaced. And this time he is replaced by Josh Eccles. Kyle says, nah, Coventry will win 2-1. Of course, still very much in the balance here. Wouldn't want to be in these supporters' positions at the moment. I'm sure it's completely emotionally exhausting. But it could end in elation. It will end in elation for one set of fans at the end of this. Long ball forward. It's given back to Ben Wilson, who will get the game back underway then. Right-footed long ball down the line. And there was a flick on by Gyökeres. Now Coventry on the break, trying to get it away, but Luton do get it cleared just about. But then it's back there with Dabo, but his touch is just too heavy. And goes out of play for a throw-in. We will have 2 minutes of normal time in the extra time first half. Amari Bell to take this throw in then for Luton. Carlton Morris does get a touch, but in the process fouls a Luton or a Coventry player, and that will be a free kick to Coventry City. So free kick then for the Sky Blues. They take it short. Here's Sheaf. Oversteps his mark. Carlton Morris wins it. Morris looks to fire one long for Adebayo to chase. And luckily they just dealt with that. Coventry, I think, was McFadzean in there to block. But now Gyökeres tries to get them to go the other way. And he's blocked off. But kept alive. One well, one back. Oh, and then coming back is Berry there. The fresh legs to win it back for Luton and clear it long. Wilson tries to get Coventry going again. Here's Doyle. Down the line. A bit of a pressure there. Coventry get the throw in. Back to Doyle. McFadzean. Into midfield now for Kelly. Eccles. Down the line for Dabo. Back to Eccles again. Kelly. His pass is intercepted, and the header from Onyedinma goes out of play for a Coventry throw-in. And the end of the first set of 15 minutes, but we will see 2 additional minutes to the end of this. So 2 additional minutes, the first half of extra time. Still 1-1 at Wembley here in this Championship playoff final. Dabo with the throw in. Gyökeres. Dabo. Nice link up there from Coventry. Gyökeres to Dabo. Into space is Kelly. Kelly breaks into a bit of space. Kelly goes for the strike, but saw all the space, but the strike was pretty poor. A pretty poor effort from Liam Kelly, sorry. But to be fair, he has played 106 minutes of football here. The captain for Coventry. Long ball forward from Horvath, but Coventry win it quickly. Brought down by Eccles. Linking up with Gyökeres. Eccles still has it here. Gets it to Bidwell. Bidwell battling, and Drame does well to win it back and has to put it out for the throw in. I didn't think he had to, though. He wasn't under much pressure. Must be tired legs again for Cody Drame. As expected, extra time. And Ethan Horvath seems to be decent enough There was a worry that he had pulled his hamstring, but no worry there. And that is half-time and extra time. So another 15 minutes will come the way in a few moments. Only 15 minutes to separate these two teams away from a possible penalty shootout here at Wembley to decide who will play Premier League football next season.
It's supposed to feel. It's supposed to feel.
Both teams then in this half-time of extra time just getting few tactical information, just getting a drink, readying for the second half to get underway in a moment or two. 15 more minutes to come of extra time before a possible penalty shootout here at Wembley. Of course, two teams that have been slugging it out for 105 minutes so far. Even more than that if you count the additional time in both first half and second half. 16 minutes combined was added on in the game over the 90 minutes. Luton making another change. We'll get that to you in a second, as we're ready to go for the second 15 minutes then. It's Elijah Adebayo that has been replaced by Joe Taylor. So they made another change there, Luton. Some more fresh legs. Adebayo will be a loss that will be a big loss for them, but I'm sure he is unable to continue. Otherwise, I'm sure Elijah Adebayo would still be on this pitch, most certainly. But 15 minutes to go if either team wants to win this without the need of a penalty shootout. And that will be some win if they could do it. Remember, this is probably it is their 49th game of the season for both these teams, and surely the most important of them all. Bidwell sees the space, gets it to Eccles. Eccles flicks it back to Bidwell. Bidwell cut out there by Cody Drame, but it goes out for a Coventry throw-in. So Bidwell to take this throw in on the left-hand side. Battling with Gyökeres. Gyökeres cuts it across. And Anya Denma's there at the back post to head it behind for a corner. Has to do it. As Coventry had pressure on the box. Had bodies there to try and threaten. Really, really good from Victor Gyökeres holding off Reece Burke. Really, really good. Gets to the byline and cuts it across. And Fred Onyedinma has to head it behind. There's an oncoming Coventry player. So a corner on the right-hand side for Coventry City. Left-footed, whipped in, headed on at the front post by Doyle. Still scrambling in there, and the flick on from Kelly just goes into the hands of Horvath. And Horvath is trying to stop kicking. Of course, doesn't want to kick. Surely that's the issue, of course, but has tried to be threaded in behind there from Amari Bell, but straight the way through to Ben Wilson as Coventry have it back again. Callum Doyle. Down the line, headed away by Luton. Brought down by Clark. Now Nakamba. Back to Onyedinma. Now to Taylor. And Taylor had the last touch, according to Michael Oliver. Rob Edwards didn't agree. But the throw-in's been given the way of Coventry City. Still the poll in the chat, still a majority saying that Luton will win the final. 59% to 41%. Saying Luton will eventually be victorious. One way or another. Kyle says, like I said, Coventry are going to get the winner around the 118th. So as soon as you see the 28th minute mark, you know that goal is coming. We'll keep an eye out for it. I'll keep an eye out for it, Kyle. Most certainly. Gunnar says, I think both Coventry and Luton were in League 2 a few years ago. Yes, they played in the League 2 playoff back in 2018, sorry. 5 years ago. Of course, Luton were in the National League just 10 years ago. We're in the National League playoff 9 years ago to get into the EFL. Incredible. Incredible story it would be for Luton if they could get to the Premier League. It's still a great story for Coventry, of course. Either of these two teams to get to the Premier League is a fantastic story after they've had such an amazing season. But just something about Luton getting to the Premier League just does something different. Not that I'm biased, by the way. I don't really mind who goes through. As I said, whoever does end up in the Premier League, I will look forward to watching and enjoying their matches next season. Drame. Good from Carlton Morris, but the touch just gets away from him, and Drame's left the space open here for Bidwell to break. Plays the infield ball to Eccles, and Eccles' passes to no one but a Luton player. Berry then gets it to Morris. Carlton Morris takes the run. Morris up against Doyle. Morris still going. Wanted the foul, but was brought down, and then Carlton Morris is pulled back and ends up giving away the foul, Carlton Morris, after Michael Oliver deemed to have fouled Callum Doyle in the end. So that will be a free kick to Coventry, as we will have 10 minutes of extra time remaining. 10 minutes to go before a penalty shootout will be the way in which this final will be decided. Still time, a lot of time yet for a winner. Wilson with the long ball. Brought down by Coventry. That's good by Sheaf. And it's well defended by Luton to clear it away. Brought down by Morris. Morris is held off there. He wanted the free kick, and the referee, Michael Oliver, agrees with him this time. He's trying to G up his own team to get them behind him. And they're making another substitution, Luton. That'll be their 5th final substitution of the game. But of course, they will have that extra sub. So the 5th substitution of the game. But they will have the extra one, of course, because of extra time. And it will be the change for Luton will be number 3, Daniel Potts. And he will replace Gabriel Osho. So the 5th substitution from Luton. Ball down the line from Coventry, but no one running after it. No one could catch it. And Luton will get the throw in as it runs out of play for a Luton throw. As Potts instantly involved then. So the throw in to be taken. Down the line it goes, but Carlton Morris was coming back deep for the ball. And the throw went long over the defence as Coventry tried to fire it forward. Headed away by Burke. Battled by Nakamba, and Nakamba wins the free kick. The challenge of Eccles is just a bit too much there in the eyes of Michael Oliver, the referee. So a free kick the way of Luton. Well, we could have a stoppage here as Callum Doyle is on the ground. Could be a bit of cramp for him. Callum Doyle. Of course, this might be his race run. As Coventry are readying another substitute to come on here. He is getting a bit of treatment, Callum Doyle. They're also checking for, see if it might be just a bit of cramp. We will wait and see. So Coventry readying up this substitution then. Well, Luton, their fans still in full belief. Haven't given up hope yet, nor should they. Callum Doyle still receiving treatment here. And they're going to make another substitution here, Coventry City then. Seems like it will be Doyle that will be going off, and it will be Jonathan Panzo that will be his replacement. At the moment, it seems. And Doyle back up on his feet. Is trundling towards the sidelines, and that seems like his race is most certainly run now, Callum Doyle. And Graham Scott readying the board to confirm the substitution, with his met by applause from the Coventry City end. Callum Doyle replies with a round of applause for his fans, as that will be the end of his afternoon. Jonathan Panzo on in his place to try and carry out the job that Callum Doyle has done so well over the last 115 minutes. So Potts to take this free kick then for Luton, but that's well overhit by Potts. Straight into the hands of Wilson. Here is Panzo. Now McFadzean gets it to Kelly. Kelly down the line to Dabo. Dabo beaten off the ball by Fred Onyedinma. And now Onyedinma's on the break. Charging through is Fred Onyedinma, and he's taken down, but the referee says that Sheaf got the ball. So the game plays on. Dabo, Yokeresh. And then the man goes to floor, but again the referee says the man got the ball. As Luton come back down the other end. Clark down the line for Onyedinma, but overhit that, and we'll go out for a Coventry throw-in. Last 5 minutes of extra time before a possible penalty shootout to come. Still 1-1 here at Wembley. McFadzean. Panzo. Oh, Panzo's giving it away. Big chance for Luton. 2-1. Luton Town could be heading to the Premier League. An absolute gift from Coventry City. And that could see them be a Premier League team for the first time in their history. A gift from Jonathan Panzo. And Luton lead for the second time in this playoff final. Absolutely incredible. Heartbreak for Coventry City fans. An absolute delirium from the Luton Town end here at Wembley. Incredible. Or actually, it won't stand. Even more drama. Because is there a handball? The goal has actually been disallowed. Because Taylor, in the build-up, stealing the ball off Panzo, handles the ball. So the referee has disallowed the goal. So belief from Luton that they had won it. But then Michael Oliver, the referee, disallows the goal. Well, that's an anticlimactic moment if I've ever had one. Goodness me. No one had spotted that, but well spotted by the officials. But they haven't given up belief yet, Luton. Onyedenma breaking forward, gets to the byline, cuts it back. And Coventry just about get it cleared. Down the line it goes. And then back the way it came, but it will go out for a throw-in. Magdalena says, don't give up, Cov. And Stu, if you want to keep annoying, that's great. But, you know, what could I do? I didn't know the referee was going to disallow the goal. So you can keep going on all you like. But Coventry have the ball here. They've given it away into nobody. Burke. Last 90 seconds of the 30 extra time. My goodness me, you have to feel for Taylor there because it's an accidental handball. But as we've seen in the first half, Luton had a goal disallowed because of a handball in the build-up. It was Adebayo that handled the ball that time. It was Taylor that handled it. They've had the ball in the net 4 times, Luton. Only once has it counted. Incredible. Incredible. Ball over the top. Carlton Morris to chase, but it looks like that might be much. Too much. No, it isn't. And then he sees it out of play himself. And that goes behind for a goal kick. My goodness me. Stu, you can say that I got the score wrong 3 times, but when a game which has had 3 goals disallowed in it, it's not that pretty easy to commentate on it. And if you want to try it, go ahead. But I certainly won't be watching you then, if that's what you want to do. Nakamba, Luton have to try and force it now. They have the possession. We'll see how much, if there will be any additional time at the end of this second period of extra time. But I'm sure Jonathan Panzo was very relieved at that goal being disallowed because he would have been the man that would have been blamed for it all, of course. We will have 2 additional minutes at the end of the 30 then of extra time. 2 minutes separate these 2 teams from a penalty shootout in the playoff final. But here's Onyedenma breaking forward for Luton. Lifts the ball into the box, but far too much. Magdalena, I'm sweating so much. Incredible. I wouldn't, as I said multiple times, I would not want to be in your position at this point. Gunnar says 100% pens. Well, we're getting to that point, just 70 seconds away from penalty shootout here at Wembley. Sonny says Luton for the win. Want that sweet away day entrance. Long ball forward by Wilson. Headed down by Berry, and there's an issue here. The referee is waving for the medical team right away, but Berry goes straight back to his feet. So, oh, there's a decision. The referee got that one wrong. Wow. Fantastic. He just went a bit too early there, the referee. Got a bit excited with himself. But he did give the free kick anyway. So Luton have one last free kick then. at the end of extra time. This is surely the last chance with only 20 seconds of extra time to go. Surely this is the last opportunity to win it. Ball forward. Headed away by Coventry. Still up there. Have Luton got bodies? Morris on the left-hand side. Right-footed cross in. Headed by Berry. And just wide from Luke Berry there. And that is the end of extra time. A penalty shootout will decide who will play Premier League football next season. Coventry City or Luton Town. And we will see with penalties on the way at the end of after extra time here at Wembley. It's finished. Coventry City 1, Luton 1, and a penalty shootout on the way next.
How it's supposed to feel. How it's supposed to feel.
To be penalty kicks that will decide the final of the Championship playoffs. The team that go into the Premier League will have to do so with nerves of steel from the penalty spot, and those penalty kicks are coming next. It's finished 1-1 over 120 nerve-jangling minutes, and more nerves will be frayed in the next few moments as well.
Sam, thank you very much. Well, let's get talking about that goal that was disallowed. He didn't mean to handle it, but he did control it with his hand, which was high above his head, Joe Taylor. And he then went on and put the ball in the back of the net. So...
Right then, ready we go for a possible, well, a big penalty shootout that means so much to these two teams. It's the battle of the 12-yard spot that will see these two teams battle it out for a place in next season's Premier League. It's all the work of 49 games comes down to this. They have worked incredibly hard all season to get to the playoffs. Worked incredibly hard to get through the semi-finals and played a 120-minute game to just face off for a penalty shootout. An incredible way to end an incredible EFL season for these two teams. Michael Oliver sorting out which end the penalties will be taken and which team will go first. And the penalties will be taken at the Luton Town end. The second toss, which will see Luton take first, it seems. So they will have the first kick at their own end. Advantage Luton, possibly. You would have to say there. Here we go. This is the nerve moment. This is where dreams are made and where dreams are dashed. Where heroes are made. From goalkeepers to penalty takers. 5 spot kicks could see you in the Premier League. A moment that not many will be able to cope with. But this is most certainly probably the biggest moment in these two clubs' recent history. No doubt about it. Just as the Coventry goalkeeper Ben Wilson returns, Ethan Horvath has been out for quite a while. The referee will just, of course, have a chat with both goalkeepers before the penalty kicks are taken. Remember, Ethan Horvath had a bit of an issue in extra time, remember. Whether that will all be overseen now with the nerves and the adrenaline of a penalty shootout. Both players sharing some kind words, I'm sure, before we get underway as Michael Oliver carries the ball towards that penalty spot at the Luton Town end, remember. Here at Wembley. It's met by cheers from the Luton end. Obviously, of course, you get to see the big penalty shootout right in front of your eyes. And it will be Ben Wilson that will have to try and save first. Luton will take the first penalty as they won the toss. And it will be Carlton Morris to step up for penalty number 1 in this Championship playoff final. So Carlton Morris readying. Carlton Morris, who scored 20 goals for Luton this season in his 44 games. This will be one of his most important of the season. Taking the first penalty for Luton Town. There is a bit of delaying tactics here from Ben Wilson. Taking his time, not hurrying. Leaving Carlton Morris waiting as Morris readies. The whistle goes. Morris to get us underway. Carlton Morris scores. Nicely finished by Carlton Morris to open the scoring in the penalty shootout. And boos from the Luton Town end there at the opposition players readying to step up. So Luton have the lead in the shootout. And it's Matt Godden. Is it? Well, Coventry stepping up then. Big chance to level it with their first. Matt Godden for Coventry City. Ethan Horvath for Luton to try and save it. Godden steps up and scores. Sends the keeper the wrong way and levels for Luton Town, or for Coventry City, sorry. 1-1 in the shootout. Both penalties scored. Both sending the keepers in the opposite direction. Very confident penalties so far. Next up, Joe Taylor for Luton. The man who thought he'd won it in extra time. Can he help them to get back ahead in the shootout? Up against Ben Wilson. Joe Taylor. The whistle's been blown. Taylor steps back. Readies for the run up. Taylor right-footed. Oh, and just squeezes it in. Wilson goes the right way. But it's just squeezed into the corner by Joe Taylor. Really, really good penalty. And the Pyre seen it past Ben Wilson in the end. Next up for Coventry is Victor Gyökeres. He scored 3 penalties in the normal season for Coventry. This Victor Gyökeres steps up. Whistle goes. Gyökeres! Right into the roof of the net. Lovely by Victor Gyökeres. 2-2. Really good penalties so far. High pressure penalty. And nicely taken by Victor Gyökeres. Nathan Horvath once again going to meet his player. Marvellous Nakamba stepping up for Luton for their 3rd penalty. Hasn't scored in 88 games in English football. Marvellous Nakamba stepping up for this penalty. Nakamba scores that one right into the right corner. Lovely from Nakamba. Ben Wilson goes the wrong way. That's an easy slot in for the man who's played already 120 minutes and has sunk his penalty. 3-2 Luton. So Coventry to take their 3rd. Ben Sheaf stepping up for Coventry for their 3rd penalty. Can he level it once again for Coventry City from the spot? Sheaf scores it. Lovely. Really good penalty from Sheaf. Puts it, gets the height behind it and puts it in the corner. Lovely. Horvath went the right way, but the height seen it past him. So all 6 penalties scored so far. And Luton ready to respond again. Jordan Clark, the man who opened the scoring in the game for Luton, steps up for their 4th penalty. Clark with the opportunity to put them 4-3 up. Jordan Clark on the 18-yard line, readying for a longer run-up. Clark runs up and scores it beautifully. Into the side netting from Jordan Clark. Lovely. And the pressure continues to build. As each penalty gets scored, the next one has ever much more pressure on the next taker. And Coventry, of course, having to respond each time to Luton scoring. Horvath this time up against big chance. So Coventry to try and level it again. Right footed, scored, lovely. It's Josh Eccles for the 4th for Cov City. 4-4 in this shootout. This is where it gets truly nail-biting. The last penalty for each team. This is huge. Luke Berry for Luton. Big chance for him. Can Luton convert all 5 of their penalties? For Luke Berry to step up to do so. Berry. Whistle goes. Berry goes quickly. Luke Berry scores. And he buries it. 5-4. This is incredible. Real top class. Top level. Well, it's this. Another big penalty. For another big penalty taker. Liam Kelly, the Coventry captain, to keep Coventry in the penalty shootout. He misses and Luton are in the Premier League. He scores and we go to sudden death. Liam Kelly stepping up. Whistle goes. Liam Kelly slots it. Lovely. Really cool, calm and collected penalty that from Liam Kelly. Really, really good. And the composure of these two sets of players is sensational. 5 goals apiece. All 10 penalties have been scored. And this is sudden death is where the pressure is most certainly on for the team, the players that weren't in the first 5 to take penalties. Dan Potts, the man who celebrated when Luton got the penalties at their ends. Can he convert it at his end? Potts with the left foot. Lovely. Really good penalty. 6-5. Lovely from Dan Potts there. Really good penalty that. And this for Cutty Dabo to take next for Cov City. This is what sudden death is all about. The team that goes first scores, and it's the pressure on the other player to try and level it. As I said again, he misses and Luton are in the Premier League. He scores and Coventry are still in it. Huge penalty for Cutty Dabo. Whistle goes again for Michael Oliver. Dabo steps up and Dabo skies it! And Luton Town are a Premier League club once again. Incredible from Luton. For Cutty Dabo is devastated. But there's the sheer delirium at Wembley. Luton Town are in the Premier League. Sensational. Absolutely unbelievable. Credit to Coventry City, who have pushed them all the way. But Luton are a Premier League club for the very first time. They win 6-5 on penalties. And devastation for Coventry City, who have done an incredible job to get here. Both teams. And it was said at the start of the game, no matter who won this game, no matter who got promotion, both deserve the utmost credit to get to this point. It's never easy in a playoff, and it's never easy to lose on a penalty shootout. The most devastating way to lose a game of football, but it is the most amazing way to win a game of football. And that is what the Luton supporters, fans, players, manager, and everyone at Luton Town are feeling at this moment. Sheer elation, delirium. And they are in full voice here at Wembley as Luton are a Premier League club. They took them all the way to sudden death in the shootout. 120 minutes of nail-biting football. But in the end, it's for Cutty Dabo's penalty miss in the sudden death of the shootout that sees Luton promoted to the Premier League. They will join Burnley and Sheffield United in the Premier League next season. And that is sensational. Tears of joy from the Luton players and fans, and tears of sheer heartache from the Coventry City fans and players. But Kenilworth Road is a Premier League stadium. They will fly the Premier League flag once again because it is absolute incredible. Fantastic. What a day this is. Sensational. It's truly incredible, and we'll get reaction and all the information from down at Wembley. We'll get the moment once again and we'll chat with the player. But this is sheer delight for Luton Town. Incredible. Credit to both teams for getting this far. But Luton, surely, in true elation now. Luton, once again, as you can see, Luton are Premier League.
and staff and the manager, Rob Edwards. Gabe Osho has hands on his head. He can't believe what has happened, but he's going to be a Premier League player next season. And there was some real belief with those Luton penalty takers, as well. As soon as their penalties had hit the back of the net, they were straight to their own fans, beating their chests, urging the fans on, and eventually Coventry cracked and they lose out. Their fans have all stayed behind. Nobody's made their way to the exits yet, and the Coventry players are going over to thank them for their support, but in the end it's come down to a penalty. And Fankati Darbo, a substitute, has missed the crucial penalty. Quality of penalties on show, absolutely magnificent, absolutely superb. And now it's left for Luton to celebrate and Coventry to be commiserated as we await the awarding of the trophy and the celebrations to continue. And what starts now is about £10 million worth of work this summer on Kenilworth Road. They've got to knock down a whole side of the ground, rebuild it in time for the new season. Well, it won't be in time because they'll have to play their first few home games away from home. But Luton Town are there from non-league to Premier League in 9 years is something else. What a story. At a time as well where the Premier League clubs are elite, when the gap between rich and poor is bigger than it's ever been. How Luton Town have gone from non-league to the elites is almost literally beyond belief. That is a football fairy tale without any question whatsoever. And any wonder all these fans are lapping it all up because they've been through the hard times and they had some big support when they were non-league. They've been through the hard times and here they are all these years later, 10 years after they were losing at home in what is now the National League to Braintree, to Telford. They lost at home to Kidderminster. And here they are winning at Wembley to get themselves into the Premier League. Luton Town, it's congratulations to the Hatters. But Dean Ashton, those penalties, apart from the obvious one, they were all truly outstanding, weren't they?
They were. I think we've seen it in many penalty shootouts over recent years. The standard, the level of penalty taking has gone up. You can just see in the quality of those penalties under the most severe of pressure. They've been able to handle it. They've been able to execute the penalty that they picture in their mind and put it into the back of the net. And then this is the raw emotion of football, isn't it? You know, the joy for Luton fans, but the absolute agony for Coventry fans. And Darbo, you've got to feel for him, especially being the only one to miss a penalty, how he must be feeling. Of course, with him, it's a terrible thing to have on your shoulders. But for Luton, I mean, what a story. What a story for them.
It's literally beyond belief what's happened to Luton Town and the anger they still feel towards the FA for being docked 30 points, which took them out of the Football League all those years ago. There's still a big banner up at Kenilworth Road saying that they've been wronged by the Football Association. I don't see that going anywhere anytime soon. But they're going to enjoy these celebrations, and what a story it is for Rob Edwards, Ian Holloway, your old player at Blackpool. He takes Forest Green to promotion, takes up the Watford job, gets sacked inexplicably after a couple of months, winds up at Watford's big rivals Luton Town. He's now a Premier League manager.
Well, all I could say is, as it was for us, Tangerine and now Orange suits Rob. I rang him and begged him not to leave Forest Green for that club. He said he didn't think it would matter because he didn't believe he could do any more with Forest Green. So I'm delighted for him, but what a day for Luton Town. What a day for my big mate Mick Harford. Absolutely magnificent. And I'm just sat here totally emotional because it brings back so many memories for me to see this, and that was 13 years ago. Absolutely incredible. Well done, Rob. Well done, Luton, and I absolutely devastated for that last penalty. Honestly, but the quality of it all was, yeah, the game dragged on a little bit in the end, in the extra time, but the weather played that. I was really impressed with the whole day. They both did themselves proud, and congratulations to Luton.
Quick word on the whole situation. We talked about how they've bounced back from the long-term adversity they faced. They've bounced back from losing their captain in dramatic circumstances earlier today. Tom Lockyer, who collapsed and has gone to hospital and needs treatment. I just went to speak to some of the officials and asked who's going to lift the trophy, because they're still trying to work that out, because their captain obviously is not around. It might be Sonny Bradley or Dan Potts, who ended up being the captain on the field of play at the end, but they're celebrating despite the fact that their teammate is stricken in hospital. I mean, the good news is he's up and he's conscious, but they've had to overcome that today as well. Yeah, it was a big emotional moment for all the Luton players, and remember how much they love him. And to give you an example, when he's picking up all the awards, Tom Lockyer, at the end of season a couple of weeks ago, he stood up and made a speech, and he said, we all get on and we all love each other because we're all weirdos, and none of them minded one bit being called a weirdo by the man they all look up to. So we wish him all the very best, and I would imagine that after the initial shock of it all, they found that inner strength to dig deep and somehow get over the line towards penalties, just for the skipper, Tom Lockyer. Well, the stage is being set for whoever is going to lift it. I suspect it will be Dan Potts, because he did have the armband at the end of the 120 minutes. Stage is being set for Luton to lift the trophy and go into the Premier League. The Coventry players are still out there. Some of their fans have left. They're still out there. They can't believe what has happened to them. They did play some great football, and actually while Gus Harmer was on the pitch, it looked like they may go on to win it. He himself got injured and had to come off, and in the end, after extra time had dragged on, it went to penalties. Quality penalties, as we say, but Darbo's, well, he's completely ballooned it, miles off target. And in some ways, I mean, listen, I feel for Coventry. Their keeper, Dean Wilson, in the shootout was giving it large to every single Luton taker, and I was thinking, mate, I wanted the referee to book him just to stop him, because it was doing my head in. I mean, I don't think, it clearly hasn't helped at all, because every Luton penalty was faultless. No, yeah, he didn't really get that close in the end to saving any of the penalties. You see some goalkeepers have started to do this tactic where they try and delay and put the players off and shout in their faces as they're sort of putting the ball down on the spot, but you look a bit of a fool then when it doesn't come off. But I guess you would try a lot of things to get your team over the line, and whether that's to pump himself up, I'm not too sure. But fair play to the Luton players. They didn't let it affect them. They took their time. Carlton Morris in particular, because he had to wait a long time to take that first penalty because of Wilson's antics. They stuck to that process. It's so important in these shootouts when the pressure's on. Well, the Luton players have got a Tom Lockyer 4 shirt. They're holding it high as they celebrate right in front of us. They're leaping up and down in front of the cameras. This is before they lift the trophy, but they're holding the shirt of their skipper, Tom Lockyer, high. He's in hospital right now, and we wish him all the best. His family are alongside him as well. He had to leave Wembley Stadium really early in the proceedings today after simply collapsing to the ground. It looked like his legs gave way and he tried to get up and couldn't, and he was receiving air in the tunnel, so we wish him all the very best. They're holding his shirt and remembering that their captain has been a huge part of this. In fact, at the semi-final second leg, when they were 2-1 down from the first leg to Sunderland, he was truly immense. He made the first, scored the second. He was absolutely brilliant. What a leader Tom Lockyer has been for Luton Town. And actually, when we think about Kenilworth Road, Ian Holloway, that stadium's going to host Premier League football.
Yeah, it's been a long time since it has, and it'll take me back as well. Some wonderful players I saw when I was growing up, and they motivated me to want to play a wonderful standard of football. They've always had style, haven't they? So I'm really struck for words here. I'm totally involved in this down our end, in it. So we're in the Luton end. Yeah. We're in the Luton end. It's absolutely amazing. We're waiting for the huge cup to be put in place. But all I can say is, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can try and stay there. The last time I saw a team do this was Nottingham Forest. They stayed up. Well done to them. So good luck to Luton.
Well, none of the promoted sides went down last year from the Premier League, and that's the standard that needs to be replicated by everybody who gets promoted, be it Burnley, Sheffield United automatically, or Luton today via the playoffs. And Dean, listen, they finished third in the regular season, so some would say that's justice.
Yes, you would. Yeah, I mean, they had a fantastic season, especially the second half. Since Rob Edwards took over, he did take them on. He did improve them. He did find a way for them to be incredibly hard to beat, really difficult to score against. And they deserve their place in the Premier League. Let nobody take that away from them. They fully deserve it. I cannot wait to see every single Premier League team go to Kenilworth Road and be tested in what has always been a cauldron of an atmosphere. I think it's going to be great for the Premier League. We don't need constantly, all modern stadiums. I want to see some of these old stadiums that have got so much character in the Premier League.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that moment. Pep Guardiola arrives at Kenilworth Road, has a look at the stadium and thinks, have I come to the right place? And then sees our Luton play and thinks, oh my goodness, has nobody watched my team since I've been here? But it takes all sorts and it's different styles, and he will have to put up with it. If he doesn't like it, I don't think Luton will care one jot. Imagine Luton getting a result against Man City next season at Kenilworth Road. Imagine that. 5 titles in 6 years. Imagine Luton, non-league 9 years ago, getting a result against City.
Anything's possible in this chaos of football, mate. It is.
Well, you're absolutely right. Anything can happen. Seriously, who would have thought a decade ago Luton would be on their way to the Premier League? Well, it's happened. And the dream is still alive. The pyramid is still alive. And Luton have proved that this afternoon as the players make their way up the steps here at Wembley to receive the trophy. Still jubilation as they make their way. Coventry players are still out there. They're going to be watching all this unfold. And the Luton players are on their way. So, let's take you to that trophy lift. Luton Town, our Premier League. Here's Sam Matchface.
Well, Luton Town, from crippling points deductions, almost certain collapse and playoff heartbreak, have risen. They have risen. Gary Sweet, the CEO, David Wilkinson, the chairman, singing Yaz's Only Ways Up in the Royal Box after refocusing and reorganising the club to point them in the direction of the Premier League. 107 steps up the Royal Box in the North Stand, snaking past supporters as they climb to reach the dignitaries. Trevor Birch and Steve Birch from Sky Bet as the players look to get their medals and their symbols of success. Sonny Bradley is leading them up the steps. Dan Potts is there as well. They've overcome adversity. Their captain today not available because of a collapse in the first half. He has gone to hospital. Dan Potts with the armband on now, walking up the steps and walking across the balcony in order to receive the first medal of the lot. Sonny Bradley, who did do 19 appearances in the league this season, will probably lift it. They did lose their manager Nathan Jones in the break for the World Cup, but barely really noticed because they bravely took a punt on a manager who was clearly a talent but was ruthlessly discarded by Watford. He won 7 of his first 11 matches. What a job he has done. He was appointed on November the 17th. They were 10th at the time. And now they are going to the Premier League. He celebrated his last championship playoff win as a player with Blackpool with a lads trip to Vegas. Not sure that's on the agenda this time. They've got to get ready for the Premier League. And they'll start planning with the chairman and the CEO, Mick Harford, who's still integral to Luton. There'll be parties galore tonight. It's a club triumph. All their famous supporters like Sir Alistair Cook and TV star Nick Owen will be celebrating this. Somewhere looking down on them, I bet that Eric Morecambe will be smiling down on the club tonight. They have brought the sunshine. Kelly Ruddock Mpanzu gets his medal around his neck. He can't quite believe what's been achieved. He's been a massive part of this club over the course of the last few years, taking them through all of the stages of promotion and into the biggest and best division of all. All the Luton Town fans waiting with anticipation now for that moment where Sonny Bradley can put his hands on the trophy, and Luton Town are recognised as the championship playoff winners. Luton's future is bright. The Premier League will get a dash of orange. Luton are coming back to the top flight for the first time since 1992. A terrific victory for the town, a terrific victory for the club, and they will be playing top flight football for the first time in a generation. The celebrations start, the orange flags are being waved in the evening sky. A beautiful evening for a party, and Luton Town will be getting theirs into full swing.
Edwards last in line, but he's got a big smile on his face, and why not as well. Dean Ashton, Luton Town finished third. They get there. They're in the Premier League next season. It's an incredible story, and this afternoon I think it's been other than extra time, which did go on a little bit because everybody was so shattered, I thought it was a fantastic advert.
Of course, again, it just shows you, what these divisions, the pyramid of English football is all about. It's why we love it, and it's why it should never ever change, because it brings, the trepidation that comes with these absolutely massive games because of what's at stake. And I'm looking from a player's perspective. You are a penalty kick away from either maybe fulfilling a dream of playing in the Premier League against all the wonderful stars that are there and remaining in the Championship to have to slug it out again for one more season. It changes careers, these matches. It's that big. For some of these Luton players, this will define their career. They might go on to play Premier League football for years. It's that big for some of these players, and that's why we love it.
That massive cheer was for Rob Edwards, the manager, lifting the playoff trophy. Ian Holloway, final words from you. The dream is still alive. You've managed at all levels. Luton have shown what's possible.
They have, and I'm delighted, and it's also a lesson for club owners. Why get rid of a manager who's clearly got the ability to do what you gave him the job a few weeks earlier to do, and really it's right under your nose. Stop doing it. Well done, Luton. Fantastic for your supporters, fantastic for your football club, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy every step of the way next year in the big time, because the big time is too big sometimes. This is the real football. This is what life's all about, seeing all these wonderful Luton fans still back their team no matter where they were. They keep going, and that's football. That's England, English football. That's the English pyramid, and I'm so proud of them. Well done, young Rob. You are an absolutely magnificent example of how to lead people.
Well, the Premier League's about to get a dose of football soul next season. Ian Holloway, Dean Ashton, thank you very much. All the reaction to come from Wembley during the boot